the frontal system moving through.
National Weather Service forecaster Casey Fuson talking about what will happen right around the time severe weather rolls in Friday.
The most likely times that we'll see some scattered severe storms possible will be from 11 p.m. Friday night into 7 a.m. Saturday morning.
And Fuson says you may need to watch out for tornadoes if
northwest of Indianapolis is where those best chances for maybe an isolated tornado will be.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, southbound 65 approaching the north split. It is a crash blocking the left lane, causing stop and go traffic back to 29th Street for a 5-minute delay. Now, westbound 70, good Lord, crash after State Road 9, and it's blocking the right lane, causing stop traffic well past State Road 9 for several miles. This delay past the Greenfield rest area. In fact, the delay time I have is 99 minutes. Crash northwest side, Michigan Road, south of 86. That involves a motorcycle. Traffic sponsored by Cracker Barrel. Big cravings call for Cracker Barrel's new Big Country Skillets. Choose your entree plus 2 sides and a drink, starting at $9.99. New Big Country Skillets now at Cracker Barrel. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies, a few spotty showers later this afternoon. It is going to be a touch breezy with highs near normal 65. Tonight, mild near 56 with a partly cloudy sky. I'm Wish TV Storm Tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Boy, Hammer, those hits keep on coming from the Indiana Statehouse. According to the latest revenue forecast, lawmakers now have a $2.4 billion budget shortfall on their hands.
I'm sorry, did you say windfall?
Shortfall.
Oh, shortfall.
The complete opposite of windfall. Less than 2 weeks to go before the session concludes. I don't know. I look at this and I'm like, all right, we already got our loss for the property tax. I don't know how this affects me directly. I'm sure that it does. Somebody can explain it to me. Fine. It's just another thing where you've got your forehead in your hand and you're shaking profusely.
I can explain it to you using finger puppets.
Oh,
would you like me to do that?
Finger puppets?
Okay, so if you're on the YouTube stream right now,
yes.
Here comes finger puppets. This finger I have on my right hand represents the local government.
Okay.
The finger I have on my left hand represents you, Johnny Taxpayer.
Okay.
Doot, 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 doot. Hey, Johnny Taxpayer, did you know that we're looking for another $2 billion? No, but my property tax went up. Yeah, guess what? Everything else is going to go up now, too. Have a good day, and scene. You are going to get taxed on things you didn't think were imaginable, Nigel, because the state is going to try to find a way to get their money, and damn who has ever in the way.
You should go to Sesame Street with that puppet show.
Thank you. Maybe they could have me on that super family-friendly newscast that Phil Sanchez is doing.
Right.
Fun facts for kids, the finger puppet edition. Because, listen, these lawmakers they've made it clear, they do not give a damn about you. They only care about their special interest, meaning the school board folks, the lobbyists, and the local governments. They do not care in the slightest bit, Nige, about what it's going to do for your costs.
You know what? When they have a budget shortfall, $2.4 billion, all you got to do is tax the cigarette smokers. That's it. Well, just go back to the well. Just go back to the cigs.
This just in.
Just go back to Marlboro and Camel.
That's what they're going to do.
Did I get it right?
A proposal is being floated around the Statehouse right now that would effectively double the tax rate of cigs in Indy. So this would mean smokers could pay $2 in taxes alone on every pack of lung darts.
Why do they stop at $2? What smokers are going to pay what smokers are going to pay. Stop it at $2. First of all, let me say, smokers, you're getting the shaft on this one. I understand that. It's not very good for you. You've been treated like pariahs. You're only allowed to smoke like out next to the dumpster in an alley somewhere where there's a bum defecating on the other side. But yeah, just go back to the smokers. They're a cash cow. They'll pay whatever.
And legal weed people, this is your time to shine. This is your time to get everybody fired up in your base because these lawmakers are desperate. They desperately need to find a couple $billion. So if you've got your act together, now is when you can really hammer home the fact that neighboring states who have legal weed, despite the fact that it's still illegal at the federal level, but our neighboring states are bringing in quite a bit of cash. And last time I checked here in Indiana, from either me walking down the street or driving down the road, people love weed. I smell it everywhere. Now, you know me. I am not somebody that smokes weed anymore. And if this passes, I want it to be regulated to where it's only used in your home. But this is your time. So get organized. Have a spokesperson. And don't make it some hippie. Don't make it that dude that looks like Doc Brown from the First Church of Cannabis.
That's right. That's what I was thinking of. The guy that runs the church.
Have somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about. Somebody that knows how to talk to these lawmakers and lobbyists. You're never going to have a better opportunity now. You guys have the leverage. They need the money. So I'm telling you, if there's ever a time for a legal weed guy to be fired up in Indiana, this may be it.
And back to the cigarettes for just a second. I believe the average cost is about $5.88 a pack in Indiana. I mean, hell, add a couple more bucks to that. I mean, they're paying $10.53 in New York. People will pay $10 for cigarettes. Hey, then we can have all the surpluses we want.
You think that, but I'm old enough to remember when we had a surplus in the state of Indiana.
Oh, that's right.
And the options came down to, do we want to give a little bit to the taxpayer, or do we want to blow it on stupid crap? And they chose choice number 2.
Okay.
We can't have any of the taxpayer getting their money back. No. Get me a list of stupid crap immediately. We have to spend this money.
Yeah.
In non-property tax news from the desk of Governor Mike Braun, he announced a collaboration between police agencies to crack down on what they're calling nuisance bars.
Oh, we've talked about this before.
It feels like every community has maybe 1 or 2 nuisance bars.
Broad Ripple.
Right. Some owners in Broad Ripple were not real happy with a couple nuisance bars that may or may not have been shut down now.
Downtown.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, there's South Side, East Side, you name it. These are the bars where you always see police activity at, where there have been narcotics, shootings, stabbings. So it sounds like Braun's office, he's issuing this statement to the Indiana State Excise Police because they say these types of things are up 34% since 2019.
Jeez.
And they're looking to crack down on nuisance bars. But here's the problem, Nige. Okay, you get all the excise police you want. You get all the state police, IMPD, whoever you want, local police. They lock up these idiots in the parking lot that are doing the shootings or the stabbings or the drugs, or they close down these bars, whatever. Guess what's going to happen? The prosecutor in Marion County is going to let them right back out. And then they're going to do the same thing over and over again. the locking up people isn't really the issue here in Indy. It's the holding the people inside.
Yeah, Jerry, can we get a little WD-40 on this revolving door here? It's a little squeaky.
It's the total Seinfeld reservation. It's not the taking of the reservation.
Yeah.
It's the holding of the reservation. It's not the arresting. It's the keeping the criminals behind bars problem. That's how you get stuck with this crap. Because I'm willing to bet if you look at the 34% of people who caused that increase, I'm willing to bet they probably got a mugshot or two in their history. Nigel, if you need a reason to drink tonight,
all right.
14 years ago, on this date in 2011, Game of Thrones premiered on HBO, ran for 8 seasons, was never really one of my favorites. I never really got into Game of Thrones. I know our pal Jeff Boggs is all into it, but I think it goes without saying, it's probably on the Mount Rushmore of original HBO series.
Yeah, we had just had our first child, and we started watching it randomly, and like it started out with brothers and sisters having relations up in castles, and then villainous, evil people pushing babies out windows. Then a girl watched her dad's head get cut off. You know what? I just brought a new child into this world. I can't be putting this stuff into my mind. Never got past like the first few episodes.
So if you're doing the Mount Rushmore, and there's only 4 spots on it for original HBO series, who you got? Now, this is my list. And I'm basing this off of not my personal choice, but what I think most people would say if I did a Family Feud style survey. If I interviewed 100 people on Monument Circle and said, name a popular HBO series, this is what I think the 4 answers would be.
Okay.
Game of Thrones, Sopranos, The Wire, and Entourage.
Man, I get down with those last 3. And I didn't finish The Wire, but I watched The Wire. Loved Entourage, loved Sopranos. Maybe I'd throw Curb Your Enthusiasm up there for me.
Succession is also in the conversation,
oh my gosh,
I think.
Succession's a great series, yeah.
And listen, I don't know if it belongs on the Mount Rushmore, but the old Larry Sanders Show with Gary Shandling and, hey now, Hank. I thought that was a pretty good show.
Love that one.
Hey now.
Wow, really, really funny.
All right, Matt Bear, what's going on with the roads?
Yeah, Hammer, looking at southbound 65, it's a crash heading into the north split, and this has us backed up to MLK for a delay of 8 minutes. Westbound 70, anything past Greenfield's trashed right now. Westbound 70 crash after State Road 9 blocking the right lane, and traffic is backed up for miles delay time. At 93 minutes, if you're coming from Nicetown, it will be US 40 Washington Street instead. Crash northwest side Michigan Road south of 86,000 motorcycle in it. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
YouTube chat chimes in with Oz, the old prison series.
Oh, yeah.
Oz.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember Oz. It was pretty controversial back in the day. Right now, we've got cloudy skies, 67 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Man, we got a fun show for you. We have an update on our Tales from the Track event.
Really?
We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment. Matt Bear is going to sashay in here at about 3:35. We'll chat with Matt.
My wife is mad at me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, hold that thought.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Hold that thought. We'll get to that. That's coming up next.
This May, you've got a chance to see what an IndyCar driver's dream garage really looks like. WIBC's Tales from the Track, presented by Relay Indiana, takes you inside Graham Ray Hall Performance, a high-octane hangout where racing meets luxury. Hammer and Nigel sit down with Graham for great stories, laughs, and insights from someone who grew up on the hallowed grounds of the IMS. It's a backstage pass to speed, style, and surprises. Tickets available now at WIBC.com. Tales from the Track, presented by Relay Indiana.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text money to 46220 today.
Hey, given the troubles with the stock market today, let's be honest, your Social Security income is a lot more important in retirement. And that's why it's critical you make smart decisions. Don't leave any money on the table. Squeeze every nickel out of your benefits. Learn how to do this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy.
Bill Demery is my retirement guy, and he should be your retirement guy because he explains things in a way that everybody can understand. And the analysis he gives you tells you how and when you can get the most from your Social Security income. So if you've saved more than $200,000, but you've not yet filed for Social Security, call Bill Demery right now. He will walk you through it all. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140, paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. If spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And for a limited time, Universal Windows Direct is also offering no interest until 2030. That's right, upgrade your home today and don't pay a cent in interest for 6 whole years. And here's the real spring surprise. Get a bonus $500 off your home improvement project. There's never been a better time to bundle and save with Universal Windows Direct. Some restrictions may apply, so call today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Get all the information and schedule your totally free in-home estimate. And see everything for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
April showers can bring plumbing downers, and my friends at Hope Plumbing don't want you to get caught in a flood this spring. Make sure your sump pump is working properly to avoid any damage. During the month of April, call Hope Plumbing and get a free sump pump with the purchase of a new battery backup system. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains, so you don't want to delay in calling Hope Plumbing. The number 641-HOPE, that's 641-HOPE, or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 765-545-BATH.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Dammon's Garden Company South on Emerson Avenue.
I'm IndyCar driver Graham Rahal, and you're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show on 93 WIBC.
Shut up and drive.
Have we really sold already, in its first day, 95 tickets to this event?
It's almost halfway sold out already, Nigel.
There's only 105 tickets to this event left. Tales from the Track, presented by Relay Indiana. Our conversation in person, Graham Rahal at the Rahal Performance Center in Zionsville. Get these tickets now. Right. At WIBC.com, it's really simple. I mean, if we sold 95 tickets in the first day and we only got 105 left, ain't going to be much left here after the next couple of days.
Right. This event sells out every year. It's always one of our favorites. It's so fun. And again, thank you to Relay Indiana, one of our great partners, great sponsors here on the Hammer and Nigel show and WIBC. But I posted some photos of the Ray Hall Performance Center on our Twitter and Facebook a little bit earlier. I mean, these pictures don't even do it justice. Some of these vehicles you're going to find inside this joint, it looks like a car wish list. Like, think in your mind, what's the most awesome, badass car you've ever seen in your life? I bet you're going to see something better at the Ray Hall Performance Center that night. So get your tickets, man. They are going fast. Almost halfway sold out in barely 24 hours. So go to WIBC.com and listen, your money is worth this. You're getting a buffet. You're getting a couple drink tickets. You're getting a meet and greet with Graham Rahal. He's going to take pictures. I believe our promo staff has got prizes to give away, and you get like a behind the scenes of the awesome garage they've got there. This is fun.
They don't let you drive in the garage, though, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Probably a good idea, because I had an incident in the garage at my house this morning.
Uh-oh. Is this why the missus seems to be a little upset?
I was backing out of the garage, took a little too hard of a right to get out, backing out, which then caused, I do this every day, it caused my mirror on my beater van, my man van that I take down here every day. The man van. It gets me from A to B here. The mirror scraped along the side of the newer vehicle, left a little dent and some paint, and it's oh boy, that's
let's do some role playing, okay?
That's my wife, like,
hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me be the role of Nigel Laskowski. You play the role of your beautiful wife Lindsay, okay? Here we go. Babe, I accidentally backed into something and made a situation worse in the garage. There may be a little damage. It's just very little damage, but you need to come look at this.
Quote, I'm speechless. You run into stuff every car that we've ever owned. Do we need to get you a Fiat? I'm seeing that it's scratched and dented. How did you pull the van in a way to do this?
How'd you get the Frank above the beans?
So, it's all good. I got my man Shay from Big Daddy Dents coming over. He's this guy over in Zionsville and takes care of stuff. He's a fixer.
Okay.
So he's coming over Monday.
He's your Michael Cohen.
That's right.
He's your fixer.
He's like the wolf in Pulp Fiction. But he's coming over to fix whatever price is. Honestly, if I hadn't said anything, I'm not positive my wife would have noticed. But better safe than sorry.
And what would her response have been? Have you said that to her? Hey, you're lucky I told you. I think it would have made it worse, Nigel. I'm just telling you.
I think I did the right thing. Just calm down, and we got Shay to come take a look at it on Monday.
The fixer Shay is on his way.
My man.
Maybe next time just take a little more time backing out of that garage.
Yeah, I was in a little bit of a hurry. Just wasn't paying attention. My bad.
Do you normally drive the man van?
Normally, yes, unless the SUV needs wash or filled up.
Okay.
Unless there's a job to do that goes along with drive. Trust me, I like driving it. You know, not the man van, but our car that we traded in for my old truck.
Right.
I like driving. It's nice. It's a nice vehicle. Very lucky, but yeah, now it's got a little white paint up the gas tank there.
It's not good.
Yeah.
But you know what? You were honest, and she's damn lucky you were honest.
That's right.
You're the hero in this, actually.
She's very lucky she married me.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Come enjoy this beautiful spring weather at Sundown Gardens in Westfield. The Garden Center has a huge selection of high-quality annuals, tropicals, trees, and shrubs. The spring blooms are filling up the nursery lot, and the greenhouse has what you need to beautify your porch and landscape. Easter decor is 50% off in Miss Mary's gift shop through Saturday. Visit Sundown Gardens for all things home and landscape this spring. Sundown Gardens at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, closed on Easter.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
5 people dead, 4 injured in the shooting at Florida State University. You may be seeing some showers in the next few minutes. The rain is coming from the southwest. According to radar, light showers mostly. It's 65 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
Honestly, I just hope everyone's okay, and I hope that we can just do better precautions so this doesn't happen again. And I just feel awful for the students on there having to go through these emotions right now.
She's on the campus of Florida State at Tallahassee, where 5 people are dead and 4 people are hurt. That info comes from WFTU TV, the local news in Orlando. They are also reporting that there were 2 shooters. One of them is dead and the other in custody, according to police. All of that went down starting at noon with an active shooter warning. President Trump told about it.
It's a shame. It's a horrible thing. Horrible that things like this take place.
It's unclear yet if that number of 5 dead includes the shooter, who is dead. President Trump continues to attack the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Fox's Ryan Schmelz with the latest on that.
In a fiery Truth Social post, President Trump says Jerome Powell's termination cannot come fast enough after the Federal Reserve chairman warned tariffs will likely cause inflation, leading to a negative reaction from the stock market. New York's Federal Reserve President John Williams sharing a similar view with Fox Business.
My view is, based on what we know about tariffs that have been announced and kind of are expected and their effects on the economy, I think we have a period of higher inflation this year and a slower growth path.
The president also says Powell should lower interest rates, claiming the chairman has been wrong in the past, adding, quote, oil prices are down, groceries, even eggs are down, and the USA is getting rich on tariffs. Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Watching your parents get older is something you never get used to. You know it's going to happen, but it still doesn't seem right, especially when the time comes to consider moving a parent into a nursing home. It's a hard decision for you and them, and when that's the right choice, there's the added stress of what to do with the house. Simple Quarters understands and can help relieve some of that stress. They're a Christian company who is compassionate about what you and your parent are going through. They can help with the logistics of selling the home. They'll buy it as is, no need for repairs, cleaning, staging, or showings. No catch. It's one less thing for you to worry about. Simple Quarters, a Christian company dedicated to helping families through life's transitions. If you're facing the challenge of selling a home due to a loved one moving into an assisted living or nursing home, call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Or go to simplequarters.com.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
As we speak, Chris, westbound 70 after State Road 9 crash cleared and traffic is on the move. Careful, this is still a construction zone and traffic is stop and go from the Hancock County line to the Greenfield rest area, but front of the line on the move. We love to see that. Inbound 65 crash clear in the north split, still stop and go from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 crash at West Street, and it's blocking the left lane, causing stop and go traffic back to Harding Street for a delay time of 5 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies, a few spotty showers later this afternoon. It is going to be a touch breezy with highs near normal 65. Tonight, mild near 56 with a partly cloudy sky. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Yeah, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer's here with a very special in-studio guest.
The traffic beast, the best traffic reporter in all of Central Indy is Matt Bear. Matthew, how are you?
Fantastic, fellas. Thanks for having me in today. Thank you for the kind words. That's really cool. Appreciate that.
No, it's the truth, man. We ask you to do a lot more than some of these other folks, and you nail it. Hell, just a couple of weeks ago, you were like one of the first people that had information on the crazy Haitian protester guy that was out on the circle. I mean, you're calling sources. You're listening to radios. You're the man.
Yeah, you know, people still ask me, did we free Haiti that day? Did we get, because he had a big sign up that said free Haiti. I'm like, did we get that done? I'm like, I don't know. He tried. He was
he was doing his damnedest.
Yeah, at least somebody's making the effort. Finally.
He was ready for the revolution. He was armed and ready.
It starts in Miles Square, baby, right there on Monument Circle. It's the coolest gig, man. I'm so blessed.
I want to get to your WTHR article, which was awesome. But before we do that, let's talk a little business here. We could see some dicey road conditions this weekend as a result of some major storm system we're hearing about late Friday into Saturday. Like, I'm hearing like 2 to 4 inches of rain possible in some places. And I don't know if the flooding was ever really rectified from a couple weeks ago, Matt. Yeah. Now we're about to dump a lot more rain on it.
One thing we know about Indianapolis driving is regardless of what street you're going to be on, you will hit a pothole.
Yes.
And now we have learned from these last round of storms that after it rains seriously in Indianapolis, you will find flooding. And that's going to be the case. It's the flooding that I really worry about. Of course, there are the natural common sense things we do. And a lot of people do a good job. I check the cameras on this. They turn on their headlights when it's raining. You know, they protect themselves. Yeah, they protect themselves. And
Get out of here.
They say, I don't want to get hit by a semi today. I'm turning on my headlights.
What kind of sorcery are they doing?
It's witchcraft. It's Harry Potter stuff, man, right out of thin air. It's beautiful. But yeah, turn on your headlights if you're in a spot that's raining. And you can watch for fog. We might have a little bit of that. And with these severe storms, if it's flooded, you cannot go underneath that overpass. You just can't do it. You can't go through the viaduct, man, especially in a car like mine that doesn't sit low to the ground. It's actually underground when it drives. It's that low. You can't drive through this flooding. And that's what I'm really worried about for this weekend going into Mondays, because we're going to have so much rain. And the left lane of Michigan Street that I take to go into work in the morning, it turns into like the sewer cesspool full of candy wrappers from the local convenience store. And everybody just swerves out. This morning rush hour, people are going to work. Everybody swerves out of the left lane into the right lane with no rhyme or reason. We just got to make our own lane.
And I'm sure everybody's using turn signals and being polite.
No, not on Michigan Street. We'll turn our headlights on in the rain. We will not use our turn signals. We won't ever do that. But yeah, so watch out for the flooding this weekend. It could be really serious.
And people are going to be out and about. It's Easter weekend. Families are seeing families. People are Saturday and Sunday.
Pacer playoff game downtown here on Saturday.
That's what I'm talking about. And you guys have your big event tomorrow night. I mean, that's going to be the place to be to see you guys and have a little Pacer basketball coming up on Saturday too, I think. That'd be a good time. That's the bar.
It's a good time to be downtown at Coach's Tavern, right?
Coach's Tavern.
That's where we're going to be at on Friday.
Closed it several times.
All right, Matthew, let's get to your article on Channel 13. Now, I think most people who listen to this program know it's not my favorite station in the city, but I am fair enough to say when they do a good job. They did a great job covering the property tax rally. I believe that was reporter Emily Longnecker. And this article about you and what you've gone through in your road to recovery, I believe this was Dustin Grove that did this. This is a phenomenal article. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm really a little weirded out about as recovering alcoholics, when we're in use, we want all the attention in the world. We want everybody paid attention, whether it's good or bad. You just want people looking at you and being like, yeah, you're the top of my mind. You're all I think about. And then you sober up and you're like, I don't want this. It's kind of crazy. It's a yin and a yang. And yesterday was a strange day about it. This article comes out. It talks about Ryan Hedrick and supporting sobriety. Ryan, our morning anger, my radio partner, and my partner on the Supporting Sobriety podcast, saying all these cool things about and making sobriety look like this awesome thing, which it is. And I just felt like crap.
Whoa.
I just felt, yesterday, I was just like this ball of anxiety. What it is I'm not used to, I'm used to making myself makes the bottom fall out. I make the shoe drop. Okay?
You had anxiety about the article coming out?
I had anxiety about the article coming out and everybody looking at me because there's a sense of attention to it, like you're doing something really good, and that is a foreign concept to me.
Is it because it's different media? Because I got to be honest, Matt,
we talk about it every weekend.
We talk about it every weekend. You can hear WIBC up past Lafayette, almost to Fort Wayne, to each border into the bordering states.
You said it. It's somebody else saying something nice about you, and that is hard to digest. That really is difficult to take. It has nothing to do with anybody other than the recovering alcoholic, which is me in this case. It's my headworms. It's the things in my head.
So what was the Cliff's Notes of this article? For those who didn't see it.
It's Alcohol Awareness Month, guys. We are just in Alcohol Awareness Month. Ryan and I on the Supporting Sobriety podcast have been talking about a lot of things in regards to, alcohol safety, of course. It's a big thing. Now, our podcast is geared to the caregiver. It's geared to the people that took care of guys like Ryan and myself. Myself being the recovering alcoholic and addict, him being a recovering addict. But at the same time, we know that these caregivers aren't like us in a sense where they can drink socially. They can go out, so we wanted to talk about alcohol. Hey, if you are drinking, and this was a big one in the last episode, cover your drink when you go out. That's a big thing right now. We touched on it just a little bit last week, but you have to watch out for spiking and people spiking the drink.
So nobody puts something in it.
Nobody roofies your drink.
Absolutely.
Put a coaster over that thing.
It happens to dudes, too. It really does. I've read a lot of cases about dudes, so it's, that's what we are talking about with Alcohol Awareness Month. And what Dustin really just wanted to hear was the story of a recovering alcoholic, and I do have one of those. So we talked about that, and he did a great job. I appreciated this so much, and I really enjoyed working with him and his team. They're really cool people, very professional, and he did a great job of saying that you have to ask for help, but we are ultimately responsible. Those were the things I was looking at in the article, that whether or not I actually got that message. We make the decision. We have to say those magic words, I'm ready. But we have to reach out for help to do it. It's not, I say it like that. It doesn't sound like the easiest thing to get sober, but all you have to do is say, I'm ready, and people will come flooding because they love you and they want to help you.
Is there also another element I've experienced? I've not experienced, but I've seen people that fall off the wagon and are so guilt-ridden that it's just so hard to get back up on the horse, you know? And I have a feeling that's a component. There's protocols for that. There's things in play for that, that if you do, I'm not wishing that on anybody. Nothing has made me think you would do that. But anybody in general that's going through the program that fails and wakes up so ashamed, there are tools to get around, not to get around it, but there are tools to help you get back into shape, right?
I'm so glad you brought that up. I remember one of my trips to rehab. As soon as I started going to rehab, and I went several times. This wasn't a flawless process. It never is. Sometimes recovery is not pretty. But when I started going to rehab, I wanted to be sober. I had that first taste of it coming down a detox, and my head cleared up. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
I want this stuff.
Yeah.
I want this in my life, and I want it more than today.
You start craving that feeling more so than you used to crave vodka or whiskey or alcohol.
Yes, sir. I love how you said that. When I was coming back from one of the rehab stays, my second to last, I had this feeling of shame. They put on this movie while I was at rehab. It was the Bill W. story, and it's a story about an alcoholic essentially, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. That's in recovery. But you watch this movie, and I just had tears coming out of the back of my eyes. You know, it was so powerful, and I felt so shameful because I'm watching this guy make an ass out of himself with his family, with his people, and I felt like this great sense of shame, and it stayed with me through the 37 days I was at this treatment center. It's two places. I was drunk on the plane.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was drunk on the plane ride home. Yeah. And I made a plan about 10 days to go that I was so angry and so miserable. And I just had this cloud of guilt and shame that overcame me for things that I did. I mean, this wasn't people just being mean to me. This was people that cared about me that I was hurting. I mean, so it's not like it's not like anybody did anything to me to make me feel like this.
Sure.
This was my shame. And I had made this plan. So as soon as I was dropped off at the airport, I was ordering doubles on the plane. I got off the plane. My sponsor picks me up at the time, or the guy who'd become my sponsor. And he said, I smelled it on you. he said, it's vodka.
Nobody,
right? I'm like, vodka, nobody smells vodka.
It's like Nigel backing out his man van in a crappy way. You can't hide it from your wife.
Yeah. Right, you're not going to be able to hide that stuff. You can't hide alcohol from an alcoholic. It doesn't work that way. So, and from there, we restarted the process. We started back over again. But it's, to answer your question, Nigel, that shame thing, I talk about that a lot. I've talked about it with sponsees. I've talked about it in AA meetings. Shame, man, I'm split on it because on one hand, shame doesn't make you sober. Shame doesn't make you better, but shame is accountability. So it's one of those things that you like anything with recovery.
Does it fall in that tough love category?
Absolutely.
Maybe it could be a motivator.
Yes, all of that. Very much so. But when you have that shame, you do want to be better, and then it's the shame again of getting drunk on the plane. So, the more you relapse, this stuff builds. There's a totality of guilt and hating yourself. So, yes, it can make you slip into relapse if you have that kind of shame, which is why alcoholics hang out with other alcoholics.
So we got about a couple minutes left here with Matt Baer. What's the clip we're about to hear?
Okay, this is the Supporting Sobriety podcast, and we have been doing episodes on Alcohol Awareness Month, and one of the things Ryan got into with me in the last episode that's out now on Spotify, wherever you want to look, is man, that glamorous life of alcohol. I was chasing that through my teens, 20s, and 30s, and I really was. The beautiful people in the commercials and everything. The hot women. I love hot women. Newsflash. I love hot women.
Okay.
Here.
And they're always out partying in my mind. But it's hard for us to remember when we see these commercials and when people sensationalize their stories about being drunk that, it's only a fraction of the people that are out at the W Hotel in the Viper Room every weekend. That's not for guys like me. I'm in the back of some tavern.
They're not all tens, Matt.
Right. They're not all tens. And so we kind of talked about the myth of alcoholism and the myth of, sensationalizing our own drinking. Even when I was in my 20s, only a small portion of drinkers, a finite portion of drinkers, look and are living like that.
Yeah.
And if you are, enjoy your 20s. Yeah. Enjoy the 15 minutes this last. And I can't change that. I'm not in control, so I can't tell the alcohol company to stop making cool commercials with hot women. I can't do that. I like hot women. More do you think? With that, it is the cool guy thing, this cool guy development. And everybody does it in every kind of industry. You know, you have to make this look so attractive. And I was never those people in drinking. So I look at that and I'm like, what?
Yeah. So, Matt, we're up against it, brother, but briefly recap what we just heard.
Okay, what we just heard is your drinking career, it always sounds better than what it actually is, and we do have those moments in our 20s, whether first time at college, maybe in a fraternity, and everything's wild and crazy, and you're having a good time. But, you know, I had a teacher tell me once, when you start hitting your late 20s and early 30s on that, you may want to start looking at yourself, and she had a point.
It's all a dead-end street.
Right.
It all winds up in a dead-end street eventually for a lot of people.
Where can we find the podcast?
It can be at Spotify, Apple, wherever you go. Supporting sobriety is everywhere. You can find at sobriety_pod on X or Instagram. Would love you to join the community and have a discussion. Thanks for having me, guys.
The GOAT of traffic, the greatest of all time, Matthew freaking Bear. My man, thank you.
Love y'all.
Hi, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden in Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Our stores are blooming with flowers, hanging baskets, bedding plants, perennials, annual containers, shrubs, trees, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best looking selection you'll find anywhere. Come see the difference. Why, you ask? Our plants are from top quality Midwest growers, many right here in Indianapolis. Check the specials on our patio furniture like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. You can even choose your own custom cushions on most sets. We specialize in excellent quality mid-price patio furniture that's in stock at our 37,000 square foot warehouse, all priced at 30% off. See our large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and the Big Green Egg. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's. 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Hammer here from my friends at Diamonds Direct. April is Diamonds Month. You got a lot of reasons to get to Diamonds Direct, right? Whether it's an anniversary, whether you're thinking about popping the question, springtime proposal, prom season is rocking and rolling, wedding season right around the corner. How about a graduation gift? Mother's Day is not too far away, so get to Diamonds Direct right now. Keystone at the Crossing by the Green Bridge, the best customer service you will ever encounter. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just beginning or refining your financial strategy, we're here to support you. Let's grow something lasting together. Text GROW to 888-262-1104 to start planning for your future full of possibility. That's GROW to 888-262-1104. Take the first step today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Chocolate lovers are going absolutely bananas over our new Bluebell Banana Fudge. Rich milk chocolate ice cream swirled with a scrumptious banana-flavored ice cream. Your favorite banana fudge bar? now in a carton.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Damon's Garden Company South has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon South on Emerson Avenue.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call LD Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
Matt Baer, what's up?
Crash eastbound 70 west. It's blocking the left lane. Stop traffic to Tibbs Avenue. Southeast side, southbound 465 stalled to exit to eastbound 74. Inbound 65, 3-minute delay 29th to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
67 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up at 4 o'clock with the news, they'll have the latest on this shooting that's taken place on the campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee. National news and Chris Davis in our newsroom will have the latest. There's a press conference scheduled for 4:30 a little bit later on this afternoon. Earlier today, President Trump was taking questions at the White House before he met with the Prime Minister of Italy. He says that the tariff negotiations are going well. The big 15 economies are going to come first in terms of his meetings and planning. Japan, the European Union, South Korea, India, all put into that category.
Okay.
And then he was asked, how much longer does Vladimir Putin over in Russia have to respond to his ceasefire proposal?
We'll see what that will be. We're going to be hearing from them this week, very shortly, actually, and we'll see. But we want it to stop. We want the death and the killing to stop.
Okay, so we got a we'll see.
Well, that makes two of us.
All I know is when I was a kid and I'd ask my mom, hey, can we go to Dairy Queen? Yeah, we'll see. I was always a no. I knew when I got a we'll see, don't get your hopes up.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it, but I'm encouraged about the direction of the tariffs. Top stories next.
Well, I don't know why you trust anybody else except the absolute best, the expert locally here in Indianapolis to sell your home and to find you a new one. Here was what David in Martinsville had to say. We bought our dream property and had to sell our old place with the land by the end of the year to avoid a big tax hit. So we had an agent friend who gave us no activity for months. Got a little worried, but they turned to Mark Dietl to save us. Mark's team took over, marketed their property like pros, and got their property sold in plenty of time.
Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time, but call Mark Dietl today. Ask about the guarantee. 317-755-4232, or just go online, markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and Statehouse Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and Statehouse Republicans, your property taxes will be lower. Future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity.
So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Through June 23rd, get 400 megabit Xfinity Internet with free equipment and unlimited internet data. Plus, get one unlimited 5G mobile line included, all for $40 a month for 1 year. And ask how you can get a free 5G phone. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply with paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Xfinity Internet required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year, rate increases to $70 per month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual fees vary and not guaranteed.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. April is here, so that means it's our Dare to Compare sale. Compare our prices to any of the big stores in Indianapolis, your town, it doesn't matter. We guarantee you the lowest price on every sofa, sectional, recliner, mattress, outdoor furniture, anything, plus no extra fees, no delivery charge. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Their friends, while sheltering in place, others forced to flee.
Yeah, I didn't see the shooter, but I saw the kids running away. I heard some screaming. And the shots, like 3 rounds of like 5 shots, and then 7 shots. So it must have been some back and forth going on.
Police in Tallahassee putting the campus on lockdown while responding to that shooting. A suspect is in custody. At least 6 students are injured. President Trump says he's been briefed on that FSU shooting, but details are still coming in.
It's a shame. It's a horrible thing. Horrible that things like this take place.
Still no word on a motive. The school says the threat has been neutralized. More than 1,000 international students have had their visas or legal status revoked in recent weeks. That's prompted multiple lawsuits aimed at the Trump administration, arguing they were denied due process. The White House has cracked down on pro-Palestinian campus protests over concerns of anti-Semitism. President Trump welcoming Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni to the White House today. The two leaders talking trade after the president paused his tariff plan for more than 75 nations.
We had a meeting yesterday with Japan. As you know, we've had numerous talks, very, very at the highest level, frankly, with other countries. Yeah, we're doing very well, and we're moving along on trade very well.
Italy's prime minister is sounding optimistic about finding common ground.
I think the best way is that we simply speak frankly about the needs that every one of us has and find ourselves in the middle, for that's useful for all.
Mr. Trump argues he is negotiating trade agreements for a better deal for the U.S. Critics, though, argue tariffs will ultimately lead to higher prices. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Whether some people stay on Medicaid. A line of showers off to our southwest. It is headed in this general direction, but it's fairly light rain. Right now it's 66 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
Making Indiana's Medicaid program more complicated will only increase the likelihood of eligible Medicaid members losing their coverage.
The Medicaid bill passed 37-10 in the state Senate this afternoon. You just heard Democrat Shelley Yoder of Bloomington. Republicans like Senator Mike Bahachik of Michigan Shores say it's necessary to make sure the people who are on Medicaid deserve to be on the program.
Because to go on the path that we're going now, it will make the entire program untenable.
He says it was right to let more people on during COVID, but that time is over. A shooting on the southwest side this afternoon. IMPD says one person is dead at Morris and Hyatt. That's in a residential area near South Harding. Police do have someone in custody, but that person was not under arrest. Cleaning up nuisance bars is something Indiana Governor Mike Braun says is one of his top priorities. John Herrick reports.
On Thursday morning, Braun announced a joint effort between state police and the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission's excise police will be formed to improve public safety around those bars. A new excise superintendent is also supposed to be hired to work with local police. Braun's team says annual public nuisance violations have gone up by more than a third since 2019, which prompts the need for action. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Prostitution at massage parlors. No surprise, right? This happened at two places in Fort Wayne. In one, an undercover officer paid $60 for a massage, then asked for a bonus. The woman told him it would cost $100. She was busted. In the other place, it was the same thing, just $20 cheaper. Both ladies are for now out of business. Traffic and weather in 1 minute.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. April's a great time to spruce up around the house, like getting rid of those old, ugly, drafty, hard-to-open windows and starting fresh, especially during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now through April 30th. And if you buy a house full of windows, they'll include a free entry door, too. Plus, with 0% financing, 0 down, and no monthly payments, you could get new windows and pay nothing until 2027.
Window Nation partners with top window manufacturers in the nation to build windows to their high-quality specs. Then they pass those savings on to you. You'll protect your home with some of the best windows you can buy at a fraction of the price of some of those other brands. This sale ends April 30th. Do not miss your chance to take advantage of the Buy 4, Get 4 for free deal, and you don't pay anything until 2027. Schedule that estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Mad Bear.
Eastbound 70 crash at West and blocking the left lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Tibbs Avenue. Also a stall on the exit. This is on the southeast side. It runs from southbound 465 to eastbound 70, stall on the exit ramp. That ramp is open, partially blocked. Looking at westbound 70, the stall cleared after State Road 9. So did the traffic. We're in good shape there now. Also looking at Fall Creek Parkway, north of 38th Street. Serious crash reported as a crash with injury and entrapment. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We'll be near 80 degrees for Friday with 30-plus miles per hour wind gusts, and then showers and storms moving after sunset Friday into early Saturday morning with a threat for severe weather. Wind and hail are the main concerns. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
And Hammer, we're still trying to get facts and details together on this shooting at the Florida State campus, and I'm really not comfortable in saying numbers and, you know, talking about who's in custody, who's been killed. Has there been a fatality? I don't know. I'm getting various things coming in, so for now, just understand that there has been an active shooting incident on the Florida State campus.
Yes, a statement was sent out to students earlier, quote, follow all local guidance, shelter in place, stay safe. Thank you to our brave first responders for responding to this situation. there are different things you're going to see online. And this happens anytime there's a major breaking news story.
Sure.
Some people are going to say 5 people, 6 people dead. Some people are going to say there were 2 shooters. At this point, we do not know officially what happened at Florida State. Fox News is reporting 6 hurt, 1 in custody. Now, hurt, I don't know what the definition of hurt means to Fox, but a press conference is at 4:30, and we're hoping to get some more concrete information there.
I mean, look, I'll say this now, and it could change completely, but 6 hurt is better than 6 dead. But we don't know for sure if anybody has perished or not. But that is the headline currently that I'm sitting here watching the Will Cain show. 6 hurt, 1 in custody after shooting at FSU.
We will pass on any pertinent information that we get.
I pray it stays like that.
I do too.
I pray.
I hope the only fatalities we hear about are the gunmen, or if it were multiple gunmen. That's it. But, man, I don't know. So we're just going to wait, and we're not going to jump to any conclusions. We're not going to read a lot of various things that are out there. We're going to wait to the official press conference at 4:30. Last night, look, I guess tip your hat to her for showing up, but that liberal journalist Taylor Lorenz, who we had talked about earlier in the week, she went on Hannity's show last night. So keep in mind, this is the woman who was so over the top, crazy liberal that the Washington Post was like, look, we got to part ways with you. You're too nuts to be here at the Washington Post.
I mean, look, she had a career. I mean, she worked from the New York Times. She worked at the New York Times for 3 years, went over to the Washington Post. But
she was like a social media liaison.
Yes. And crazy.
Super crazy.
Whoa.
Probably best known, honestly, for doxing and outing the person behind the Libs of TikTok account, Chaya Rychek, who we have since had on this program.
Yeah, Libs of TikTok was an account that just sort of repurposed what liberals were putting on their own social media.
Right. A glorified retweet.
Yeah, a glorified retweet. And somehow that was hateful and demeaning and dangerous. I don't get it, but whatever.
So,
she's crazy.
Let's go back a couple weeks ago here. I'm going to play you a couple sound bites before we get into what happened on Hannity last night. In regards to Luigi Mangione, this kid that killed the healthcare executive, the father, the husband, the healthcare executive.
Shot him in the back.
Here are some things that Taylor Lorenz has had to say about Luigi.
So you're going to see women especially that feel like, oh my God, right? Like here's this man who's revolutionary, who's famous, who's handsome, who's young, who's smart. He's a person that seems this morally good man, which is hard to find.
Yeah, I just realized women will literally date an assassin before they swipe right on me. That's where we are.
They're laughing. They're having a good time, talking about how good looking the kid is.
That was on CNN?
Yeah, some CNN weekend show.
And the whole panel was laughing and thought it was charming.
Well, but wait, there's more. This is when she was on a panel discussion on Piers Morgan's show. I think Tommy Lahren was a panelist. Somebody else. Take a listen to Taylor Lorenz on the shooting death of the healthcare executive.
I do believe in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately, because it feels like...
Seriously?
I mean...
Joy in a man's execution?
Maybe not joy, but certainly not... certainly not empathy. This is literally...
So you felt joy. You felt joy.
So, yeah, don't let her walk that back. She felt joy when that guy was killed because somehow she thinks the American healthcare industry is evil and is killing people. And so somebody needed to be made an example of.
I got bad news for you, Nige. She hasn't changed her mind. Here she is last night on Hannity's program.
Will you say that anyone that praises this guy is lacking a soul, a conscience, and a heart? Do you agree with that statement?
Well, what I will say, Sean, once again, is that I believe in free speech.
I just asked you a very direct question. Will you say that anyone that's praising this guy doesn't have a soul, a conscience, and a heart?
I don't believe in things like, religious things like souls and all of these things.
I'm not asking about religious. If you can't have sympathy for a dead father and husband, do you lack a conscience, a soul, and a heart? That's a simple question. You're a smart woman.
Well, let me respond to you, Sean. I believe that every one of the 70,000 Americans that die each year because of lack of health insurance also has a heart.
You're back to healthcare and not answering my question. I've done this 29 years, Taylor. Answer the question. If you think it's okay and you celebrate assassination, are you lacking a conscience, a soul, and a heart?
I think once again you're conflating me explaining the ideology of the women that
you are trying to rationalize them.
So this goes on for like 9 minutes. This is the conversation.
It's good TV.
It's good TV.
Yeah, man.
Sean Hannity simply wants her to say, "Are executions bad?" Let me just put this into the easiest terms possible.
Is an innocent man walking down the sidewalk in New York City at 6:55 in the morning on his way to a conference shot in the back? Is that, I guess some people would call it bad.
Is that bad?
Is that unfortunate?
Like, I don't like the healthcare industry either, but you don't get to go just kill people and execute people. Here's a little bit more.
If you support assassination, Taylor, answer the question. If you support assassination of innocent people, are you lacking a conscience, a soul, and a heart? Simple question. Go.
I believe that the assassination of innocent people, if we want to talk about the assassination of innocent people, I believe that the tens of thousands of Americans that die each year because of the lack of health insurance, that is, to me, a violence in itself. That is assassination. These health insurance.
I want to have that discussion with you, but we can't have that discussion until you say.
Have the discussion when you're not willing to hear on what my beliefs are, and you
condemn people that have been committing acts of. Do you condemn the people that tried to assassinate Donald Trump, or would it be a good thing in your mind? Or would you understand why people want to kill him, or understand why people want to kill Elon Musk? You understand them too? Are they handsome people too? Smart people?
I mean, listen, I'm not the biggest Hannity guy in the world.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm not a Hannity fan, but I wish I would have known that was on last night. I would have watched that.
He made her look like a clown last night.
I don't think that's too much of a... I don't think... Is it much of a stretch to make Taylor Lorenz look like a clown? It's too very...
All we were missing was the makeup and the red nose last night. That's it. That's it. Are executions bad, Taylor? I don't have a soul? Okay, thanks. All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
Checking out a crash on eastbound 70 West and right now. Well, the left lane just reopened. Traffic is stop and go back to Harding, and that delay is going to dissipate a little bit. This is rush hour eastbound 70 into the south split, so we will have a delay there most of the evening. Also looking at the southeast side, a stall in the exit from southbound 465 to eastbound 74. The ramp is open, partially blocked. Northbound Keystone Parkway jammed 106th Street up to 126th, and the southbound lane's bad, 136th Street to 126th. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Sean Hannity asked Taylor Lorenz, look, was it a bad thing that somebody killed this healthcare executive in cold blood, shot him in the back? He's got a wife and kids. And her response would be, well, Sean, I don't have a soul. So,
You're barking up the wrong tree here, kid.
I mean...
Boy, there are crazy libs, and then there's a big drop-off.
And then there's her.
Wow. Holy jeez. 67 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. We're going to play a fun round of Is This Anything next.
You may have noticed a little volatility when it comes to the stock market. That means your Social Security income is a lot more important in retirement, okay? That's why it's critical you make smart decisions concerning filing for Social Security. Don't leave any money on that table. It's all yours. You deserve every bit of it. That's your money. Learn how you could squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy.
Bill Demery's analysis tells you how and when you could get the most income from your Social Security. It's your money. And he does this while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. It's definitely worth a phone call. So call Bill Demery right now, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120.
Look around. Spring is here. And no matter what you're planning or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
At Puccini's, we think less screen time and more quality mealtime is the better way. Eat, talk, and dine with less blue light glaring or talking heads blaring while enjoying great food at a reasonable price is the Puccini's way. Dine in for hot, delicious food prepared fresh and to your liking. If you need anything, we're right there so you'll leave full and happy. We have delivery options and carryout, but let's start dining in together again the way we all used to enjoy so much.
Puccini's Pizza, Pasta, Puccini's.
It's J&V, and Miss M's Home and Garden has a huge selection of high-quality annuals, tropicals, trees, and shrubs. Miss M's, State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville. Closed Easter.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Damon's Garden Center West on Rockville Road.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is this anything? The police in Florida pulled over a vehicle which was just flying down the road about a $105, 105 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone.
Oh, that's you can get arrested for that.
But what if I told you the bride was the passenger who was late for her own wedding? It was a bride who was in the passenger seat.
Okay.
Late for her own wedding. She told him to step on it. She's going full bridezilla. She's trying to get to her own wedding.
Wait. She wasn't driving?
She's the passenger.
Okay.
But she's barking out the orders.
Yeah.
Here is some audio from the body cam.
Whose wedding is it?
It's mine.
What time is it?
It's 2:30.
Where at?
In Stewart at the courthouse.
Hey, you're already late.
We're trying to get there.
Just give me a minute. I'll let you take her, but I'm going to give you a court date. It's a mandatory court appearance.
Still got a ticket.
No word in the story of the guy driving the car. It could have been the groom, for all we know, that was in the driver's seat. Yeah, you're lucky you didn't get taken to jail. And I saw this. I thought she was the one that was driving 105 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone.
That's what you get for being late.
That's going to jail type stuff. That guy is lucky. Yeah, this is something. A little worried about the marriage, the status of, the longevity of the marriage. If you're running that late that you're speeding, you're twice the speed limit, over twice the speed limit, going to your own wedding. I don't think it's going to work out. What do you think?
But if the bride was the passenger and she's the reason why they have to go fast and she's barking out orders, she's not the one that's going to get hit on her driver's license. She better pay for that ticket. And even though this person's got, whoever was driving has to go to court, she better do something to make it right. Because I don't think this person would have been driving 105 in a 45 if Bridezilla over here wasn't barking at her, orders.
True. But the other side of this conversation is, will this marriage work out? If you are at the point where you're driving 105 miles an hour because you're late to your own wedding in Florida.
Sure. I mean, you really got to go above and beyond to get a speeding ticket in Florida, don't you?
Is the marriage going to work out? Is it going to last?
See, you look at this from a relationship perspective. I'm looking at this as somebody that's DJ'd over 200 plus weddings. Boy, these girls take forever to get ready. This is their date. This is their wedding. They've been planning for this since they were little girls. They have been trying to get every bit of makeup right. Everybody runs late. I don't think I've ever DJ'd a wedding where the bride was totally on time or early. That never, ever happens.
Lindsay, I can guarantee her when we got married in 2008.
October?
It was October. November, actually. She was not late to the wedding.
Okay.
She was already there at the Methodist Church there in Broad Ripple.
Because I've been given those marching orders as a DJ. Just keep playing some music. Keep playing the sitting music. We're almost ready. We're almost ready. And that's all the time.
What's taking so long? Even if they are all there and everybody's present. What is
Sometimes
taking
it's
so long?
the train needs to be adjusted. Sometimes it's the dress needs to be adjusted. Other times you're trying to wrangle up all of the bridesmaids or groomsmen to get them ready and be like, hey, cut the crap. We got people out here waiting. They're hungry. Let's go. And I've had to give that speech before, actually.
Oh, my grandpa. Oh, man. We got to the facility after the wedding ceremony, and we went to the Ritz-Charles, and we were all out kind of out in the hallway drinking, and my grandpa walks out. I saw my grandpa walk out. I go, oh, boy. He comes up to me and goes, let's get this show on the road. There's a bunch of people that are hungry in there.
Right.
And I go, Grandpa, you got it.
Grandpa is right.
He was
and the
right. He was
other
totally
person you
right.
blame in that is the photographer. Oh, the wedding photographer. I need to get 18 more pictures. No, Grandpa's hungry.
Yeah.
And people are threatening to walk out and leave.
Yeah.
And they brought you gifts. Feed these people. Let's go. I'm 100% with your grandpa there.
And I wasn't mad at him at all. I totally understood. And I hopped too. It was my wedding. I paid for it, but I hopped too when Grandpa is up.
Speaking of weddings, is this anything? A woman called into a radio show to complain about how her husband didn't cry at their wedding, but he cried when Rory McIlroy won the Masters. Take a listen.
We got married 2 years ago, and he sees me in my wedding dress coming down the aisle. This man does not shed a tear. My dad gave this beautiful speech on our wedding day. Nothing. Yesterday, he's watching this golf tournament, and he cried when whatever his name is, when he won, he cried over a golf. It is the maddest I've ever been.
You know, in his defense, and you nailed it, Rory McIlroy winning the Masters, the emotion and the look on his face, the picking up of his young daughter and embracing her, very emotional. And like you said, Rory was relieved more than I think he was.
That monkey was off his back.
But I didn't cry. Did you cry at your wedding? Did you?
No. I was trying to make Crystal cry because she's a bit of a crier.
When we didn't write our own vows, we did the thing where we got married at that giant Methodist church there on Meridian Kessler, right? And we didn't know the pastor or the guy, but he was making us repeat things,
Sure.
And I got choked up then.
Okay.
About the only time I got choked up, but I didn't cry.
Right. Bit Lindsay?
We were both tearing up.
Okay.
We were both tearing up. And that was it. Now, I didn't cry when Rory McIlroy won the Masters last Sunday either. In fact, I was kind of pissed off because I had Justin Rose winning the match.
You'd almost had a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So, guys get emotional at different things.
Right.
Weddings, one thing. Your favorite golfer winning the Grand Slam, finally completing the Grand Slam is something else.
It just means something to him. That's all. It just matters a little more.
Hey, we have a special guest coming up. Breitbart tech editor Colin Medine. He's been on the show before, and I want to talk to him about this China trade war. And before you tune out, be like, China trade war, tariffs, blah blah blah. There is a lot you don't know, and there's a lot that that Trump is doing to be successful. And I want to ask him about my kid's favorite store. Have you ever heard of this store called Five Below?
Oh yeah.
Holy God Almighty! It might as well just say China on it.
China.
It's all encompassing. We're going to talk about all this, and also the fact that America is winning high tech manufacturing. And this is going to be an interesting conversation. You don't want to miss it. That is next. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Nobody better if you're looking for a new coating over that concrete basement, your concrete utility floor, maybe your garage. You need a new coating over that old, cracked, uneven, messy, dirty garage. They don't use polyurea. They use something 4 times stronger, faster drying, stronger hold, lifetime warranty. They use polyurea, by the way. It's a new premium standard for coatings. I love the job Galaxy Concrete Coatings did for my garage. That's why I just had them back a couple of weeks ago to finish my utility room in my basement. It looks awesome. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or call them 751-9070. Men over 40 struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself. Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, meet a medical provider, and get back to feeling your best.
This month only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it's covered by most health insurance. Get treated at a Low T Center near you or even in the comfort of your home. Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. lowtcenter.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The shooting at FSU. Some light rain on radar to the southwest. You could be getting a few sprinkles now. Nothing major. It's 66 downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
I heard and could see out of my window, because I have an office with a window, someone running, shouting, they're shooting, they're shooting, they're shooting. And in that moment, I, of course, gathered myself and then alerted all of my staff, got them to a place where they were safe.
As you heard, she saw some of what went down just after noon near the Student Union at Florida State University, Tallahassee. What authorities are saying right now is that 6 people are injured, 1 critical. There is one TV station in Orlando reporting 5 people are dead, but no other stations are reporting that at the moment. 1 person is in custody. As of yet, the police in Tallahassee have not discussed a motive for the shooting, and they may not know that for a while. Meanwhile, we've got our own shootings in Indianapolis to deal with. A killing this afternoon about 3 hours ago on the southwest side. That was at a bus stop at Morris and Hyatt. That's between Belmont and Harding. A man is dead, police describing him as an adult male. You will likely hear more about what went down a little later on. The Medicaid bill that some people believe will kick some of the 2 million Hoosiers on Medicaid off the program passed 37-10 this afternoon in the state Senate.
Senate Bill 2 does not address fraud in a meaningful way.
Instead, it imposes unnecessary red tape on vulnerable populations.
Senator Lakeisha Jackson of Indianapolis, a Democrat. Republicans say the budget is too tight to let people stay on who do not belong. The bill makes more checks for eligibility lawful. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
You were blessed to have a home large enough to raise a family. But now the kids have been on their own for a while, and the house seems a little different. All those rooms are a bit too much to manage. Simple just seems better. Simple Quarters is a company that understands, and they can help you trade in your house for one that's a better fit for this point in your life. A lot of folks don't realize you can trade in your house like you can trade in your car. Simple Quarters will buy your house and help you transition into a new one all at the same time. No double mortgages or months of showing and stress. They streamline the process. Or they'll simply buy your house as is, and you can take the next steps on your own. Simple Quarters is a Christian company committed to making your real estate transitions easier. If you're considering downsizing, Simple Quarters offers both as-is home purchases and a convenient home trade-in option. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
Stall on the southeast side is southbound 465 to eastbound 74. That ramp is open. It is partially blocked. In Carmel, we have a crash on northbound Keystone Parkway at 126th Street East City Center, and traffic is stop and go back to 106. Southbound lanes also stopped right now from 136th Street down to the crash site at 126. Looking at northbound 465 northwest side stop and go 86th Street up to 865. Inbound 65, 11-minute delay from the White River Bridge to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 78-minute delay from Belmont to the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We'll be near 80 degrees for Friday with 30-plus miles per hour wind gusts, and then showers and storms moving after sunset Friday into early Saturday morning with a threat for severe weather. Wind and hail are the main concerns. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Donald Trump's trade war with China. To panic or not to panic? Here to answer a ton of questions, Breitbart News tech editor Colin Medine. Colin, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel Show. Let's back up for just a second with these trade tariffs and with the quote-unquote trade war with China. What does it even mean for our audience that might not even understand? What does a trade war look like with any country?
A trade war, it's funny, Nigel, because it really boils down to the heads of states of various countries getting into a pissing match and getting really mad at each other and trying to say, oh, you took my ball, well, I'll take your G.I. Joe guy. You know what I mean? Just like little kids. And it sort of spirals from there. And that's, China that's what's going on with China right now.
And so it seems like it's been going on forever with China, this kind of thing between China and the United States. Am I wrong about that?
You're not, Nigel. America has for decades been lured into China because it's easy money. Companies love easy profits, and that's been the China game since the late 80s.
Was that because it's so much cheaper to make things in China than it is here in the United States?
Oh, yes. If you're Apple, would you rather open a facility in Indianapolis and pay people good wages to do skilled work? Or would you rather have a factory in China where they have nets under the windows because the workers try to commit suicide, throwing themselves out the windows? They all have suicide nets because they're slaves. The choice to Apple is let's have it done in China by slaves for pennies on the dollar instead of, American labor or even, European labor. They think it's a no-brainer. Now they're feeling the bite.
Why are they feeling the bite?
Well, because Donald Trump came in and made a decision that America shouldn't be run over by China or any other country. We have basically been suckers for decades where we don't have rules about what comes in, especially from China. They send god-awful things here like children's pajamas that are flammable, catch on fire easy.
Dude, trust me, Colin, I take my kids to have you ever heard of the store Five Below?
Yes.
Oh, man, they love Five Below, but it just might. And honestly, the sign just might as well say China above it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
junk.
the thing you're talking about, right?
Right. So, but the flip side of that, there's no store in China that's like, here's where you get the America stuff.
Sure.
Okay. They tax us heavily. They tariff us. They have a lot of these countries have non-tariff barriers to trade, which is they make it very difficult without putting a dollar figure on it to even come in their country. So Trump says we're not playing that way anymore. China always escalates. Something, you smartly said, they've been cheating for a long time, and they always cheat and they always play dirty with trade. So that's how you get to where we are today. For example, Trump puts tariffs out and China says, haha, we're going to tell our companies they don't have to honor intellectual property from America anymore. They've been ignoring intellectual property laws for decades. They just rip off everything.
Yes, of course. And I'm reading a headline here on Breitbart.com, which involves China saying they're stopping exporting several rare earth minerals that are crucial to making certain products in the tech industry, the automobile industry, defense industries, according to several reports. What can you tell us about this development?
Well, this is very similar to what we've just been talking about, Nigel.
Yes.
Rare earth elements, rare earth metals, there's about 17 of them. It's actually kind of a fake name. They're not that rare, okay? The rare part is they're hard to mine. You can't mine them cheaply because unlike, say, a gold mine, there's not just this vein of gold that you use a pick and machines to get out, right? They're all scattered out. They're hard to find. So what America and the rest of the world did is follow the easy money. They went to China because China will destroy their environment. They turn areas of China into like toxic waste pits.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can very easily and cheaply get these minerals. And instead, we just buy them from them instead of effectively and ethically and safely mining these. They're all over the place. Ocean floor, Greenland is full of rare earth metals. But we went for the cheapo China option. The Five Below of rare earth minerals is China, right?
Yes.
So what happens is China knows that. They know they have about 80% of the market. So anytime a country ticks them off, they cut off rare earth metals. They did it to Japan in 2010, and obviously Japan, everything's high tech, over a minor squabbly type dispute, So they're saying to us, hey, we're cutting this off. We should be getting these rare earth minerals all over the rest of the world, places that don't hate us and want to destroy America.
And big picture, we're speaking with Colin Medine. He's a Breitbart tech editor. Is what Donald Trump is doing, whatever he's doing. I know he's doing a lot with tariffs and trade, and I know there's a lot on the table. We can get into the weeds into that. But what overall have you seen what he's been doing lately? Is it working? Is it going to work in dealing with China?
I believe that it will work with China because it's going to work with every country. Something that we don't really understand as Americans that we take for granted. We are the best economy in the world, and we're the best consumers and sort of richest people and richest companies in the world. And every country wants to sell their stuff here.
Yes.
And that's why what you saw is many countries that are traditionally very protective and want to fight America and on bringing stuff in, like Japan. The tariffs hit, the hammer of God comes down from Donald Trump, saying the party's over. They all came to us and said, Mr. Trump, America, we want to work with you. We want to sell our stuff to you. Let's make a deal, because Trump is the ultimate deal maker. Our economics editor at Breitbart, John Carney.
Yep, spoken to him many times. Very smart guy.
Absolutely. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Him and I were talking about this, and, our position is the same. If you actually have to charge high tariffs to anyone, it's bad. You want to threaten them with high tariffs, and they come to you and say, America, we get it. We can't treat you like suckers anymore. Let's make a deal. And like crazy countries like Vietnam has done that, right? Taiwan, Japan wants to be our best buddy. Certain countries already had like our best friends and family rate, like UK and Australia. They're playing ball with us. So China has to sell stuff to America or China goes out of business. They have a lot of mouths to feed over there.
One example, just real quick. Like when COVID was going down, no amoxicillin, none of the essential ingredients to if my kid had strep throat, I had to go halfway across the city looking for amoxicillins because a lot of that stuff and penicillin or whatever is all made in China. Has any of that changed in the past 4 or 5 years?
Well, not enough.
No,
a little bit has, but the thing is, when it's worth it to change, it changes very fast. For example, when it started looking, like America was going to be tough with China, Apple very quickly moved about 30% of iPhone production out of China to places like India. So, and
isn't Apple coming here too with about a $500 billion investment?
That's NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, which is probably a more important player. But guess what? You're not really wrong there because Apple is committing. They've already said, hey, we're going to start building chips in Arizona and Texas. So, I think we're probably similar in age.
Yes.
Our whole life, the message to us from education and the news was Americans can't compete. We're not good enough at building stuff, so they have to build it in China. That is BS. They build it in China because they can use slaves, and it's very, very cheap. Americans make some of the best stuff on earth, and that's the lesson that Japanese and European car makers learned. When you go out to Lafayette, you see Subaru making cars there. It's because we make great cars. We can make great AI chips. We can make great iPhones. People laugh at Donald Trump for saying we can make iPhones in America. People who laugh at Donald Trump don't have great track records. They're usually proven wrong in a few years.
Well, I really like to hear. First of all, I like to hear you doing your homework about Lafayette, Indiana. As a Hoosier, I like that. My the tech editor for Breitbart knows his stuff, obviously, and I like to hear that. Go ahead.
I would just say, we are not California and New York elites who consider you flyover country. I'm from Ohio.
Okay.
I live near the Wisconsin border, so you're right on the way home.
Perfect. I'd love to hear that America is winning with these high-tech manufacturing, NVIDIA, the chips, and all that stuff. That is great news. I could sit here and talk to you for an hour commercial-free. This has been fascinating, Colin. We'd love an update here in a few weeks, if that's all right with you. We'll keep you in our Rolodex.
Absolutely.
That is Breitbart News tech editor. Find his work, Breitbart.com. Colin Medine, thank you very much, and have a great weekend.
You too.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It's spring cleaning, which includes tidying up your investments, and that means a second opinion on your investments from the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth. Trajan Wealth knows one size does not fit all when it comes to your portfolio and are ready to work with you to get to know you in designing a fully customized investment strategy that's tailored to your hopes and dreams. Call 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your first consultation. It's free. At Trajan Wealth, smart investing means having a good plan for the future, which means to smarter investments, and that means growth while protecting your future. Call and schedule a consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Tell them Matt Bear sent you. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement. Hey, it's Matt Bear. Warm weather is coming, and now's the time to call Cochran Exteriors to beat the spring rush. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and more. My friends at Cochran Exteriors will give you a free consultation with options to meet your budget, and all without the high pressure or gimmicky sales tactics. Over 10,000 satisfied area customers, a lifetime workmanship warranty. It's why Cochran Exteriors is my choice. Visit CochranExteriors.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
We all need a certain level of socialization to remain mentally sharp and healthy, especially when living with a life-altering diagnosis. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Coming up are suggestions that can help improve that loneliness your loved one may have.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Create a routine that both you and your loved one can look forward to. Plan social activities and outings. They promote connection and reduce those feelings of isolation. Recruit your friends and family to participate, and if possible, use adult day centers to engage your loved one and give you that much needed break. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Damon's Garden Center West has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon's West on Rockville Road.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
The WIBC mashup is everything you love, from fiery debates to laugh out loud takes, all in one podcast. No weak sauce, just the best of the day each weekday. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, real quick before we go to Matt Bear in the traffic center. They just wrapped up the press conference in Tallahassee in regards to the shooting on the campus of Florida State University. Officially, from the police at that press conference, 2 people are dead, 5 injured. The shooter was injured as well. The 2 that are deceased, they're not Florida State students. The shooter is the 20-year-old son of a sheriff's deputy, and police believe that is the weapon that he used in the shooting. He got it from his parents. So that's what we know from the press conference that just wrapped up down in Tallahassee. All right, Matt Bear.
Looking at northbound Keystone Parkway in Carmel, this is a crash and a hell of a backup. The crash is at 126th Street. I'm told left lane closed with traffic stop past 106th Street for a 35-minute delay. The southbound lanes at Keystone Parkway mostly cleared up, a slowdown at 126 because of rubbernecking. And then southbound 31 starting to load up as people reroute around that crash from 116th Street to 111th. We do have stop-and-go traffic right now. Inbound 60 I-45 stop and go from the White River Bridge to Meridian Penn. 13-minute delay. There is a stall in the middle of all that, blocking the left lane. Eastbound 70 jammed up from Tibbs Avenue into the south split, a 10-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up a little bit after 5 o'clock, our pal Tara Hastings from Wish TV will join us, hearing some scuttlebutt, some rumors. We may have some severe weather late Friday into early Saturday. We'll get a timeline from Tara just after 5. Right now, it's 67 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Well, we're coming to your city.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I cannot wait for tomorrow. The Hammer and Nigel Show Coach's Tavern Reunion. That's what I'm calling it, baby.
I'm about ready.
We are going to be broadcasting live the whole freaking show tomorrow. Coach's Tavern downtown, right across from the Field House on Pennsylvania. Get there early, stay late with us, and it's Beer Sample Friday, Nige.
Can you give me a ride to that one?
You're walking.
Oh.
It's literally
that's right.
2 blocks from where we're at right now. You're going to walk. Not taking you anymore.
Okay, that's fine. All right,
but our friends from Metazoa Brewing Company are going to be there. Yeah. That stuff is so good. I said yesterday, I'm thinking about bringing the beer bong. So if it wants to be not just celebrity beer bong, but civilian beer bong, if anybody wants a crack at it, maybe we'll get you filled up tomorrow at Coach's and come by and hang out with us.
Hey, have you addressed the question in the YouTube chat as to why you were dressed up today?
I was the...
I'm looking at this right now. You've got a...
I'm wearing pants and everything today.
You've got pants and shoes that don't need tied.
Well, actually, they do. I still got my Jordans on.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
But I got the blazer on. I was the guest speaker at a luncheon a little bit earlier today.
Okay.
The Sertoma Club of East Indianapolis. They had me speak to their group for a little luncheon. These guys do good stuff in the community, faith-based organization, talk to a lot of awesome people.
So what the hell were they doing asking you to speak?
That's what I said. It's like, you guys are way better than me. Last year, we had Jeff Smulyan. We've had Jim Irsay before. I'm like, well, man, here I am talking about, poop jokes and gambling stuff. But I did a little Q&A at the end, Nige. Took some questions.
Yeah.
Needless to say, people are not a fan of what's happening right now at the Statehouse.
I haven't seen any civilian, any citizen that is a fan of the property tax bill that was signed. And then we have the deficit.
Right. So already you're getting the shaft and your taxes will go up, right? That's the plan. But now the budget report is that in the next, 4 years, we're looking at a $2 billion shortfall.
Okay.
Not a surplus, but a shortfall. So where is the money going to come from? Hold on, I'm fighting a sneeze. Hold on.
Do it.
Taxes! Oh, man, sorry, I was fighting that off. Taxes. They're going to tax the bejesus out of you. That's what's going to happen. But we'll see what happens. Maybe, just maybe, the economy will turn. And maybe, just maybe, monkeys will fly out of my butt. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
April is here, so that means it's Thompson Furniture and Mattresses Dare to Compare sale. Compare their prices to any of the big stores up in Indy or whatever town you live in. It doesn't matter. Spencer and everybody else at Thompson guarantees the lowest price on every sofa. I'm talking every sectional, recliner, mattress. It's springtime. You might be looking for some outdoor furniture. And plus, no extra fees, no delivery fees. You got to hurry, though. The sale ends Monday. Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. It's the Dare to Compare sale.
It's officially spring now, so if you're looking for that patio furniture, Thompson Furniture and Mattress, they are your one-stop shop for everything, and they still have free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles. But you got to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. These guys take care of us on the Hammer and Nigel show. Take care of these guys. Stop by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, thompsonfurniture.net.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and Statehouse Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and Statehouse Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
3 9/10 to play. Nemhart will get it in. Here comes a 3 and a foul! A foul! A foul! As Halliburton, floating out of bounds in front of the Milwaukee bench, hits a 3 and draws a foul.
Pacers fans, it's playoff time. Catch your Pacers and Bucks in Game 1 on Saturday at 1. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers playoffs presented by KeyBank, Kroger, and Starry.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Did you know that people born from 1945 to 1965 have the highest rates of hepatitis C, but most don't know they're infected? People can live for decades without symptoms, but over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage and even liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 1965, the CDC recommends that you get a blood test for hepatitis C.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
This is a Fox News alert. 2 killed in a shooting at Florida State University, 6 more hurt. I'm Kevin Uretsky, Fox News. Law enforcement speaking just moments ago, identifying the 20-year-old suspect as Phoenix Eichner, a student at the school, as well as the son of a Leon County, Florida sheriff's deputy. Florida State University Police Chief Jason Trumbauer.
FSU police responded immediately, engaged, neutralized, and apprehended the shooter.
The gun used belonged to the deputy, the shooter's parent. A few minutes ago, President Trump speaking about the shooting from the Oval Office.
I'm a big advocate of the Second Amendment. I have been from the beginning. I protected it. And these things are terrible. But the gun doesn't do the shooting. The people do.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin now with more on the situation on campus on the ground earlier this afternoon.
Florida State University senior Cooper Huguenot detailing being in class and seeing students running from the student union.
And I remember looking outside and hearing 5 more shots go off.
The university telling students to shelter in place.
So we ran from our classroom, went to the offices, locked the doors, barricaded ourselves in there, and then we waited and was looking out the window again and saw the SWAT teams pull up, the police cars, the FBI come, and at that point we're like, okay, we got to bunker ourselves in.
Another student in the library detailing seeing people flooding up the stairs and barricading doors and elevators. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
Maryland Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen still in El Salvador trying to convince officials there to free alleged MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Senator Van Hollen says he asked the vice president of El Salvador to let Abrego Garcia's lawyer or his family contact him, but that request was denied. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You may be asked to make a sacrifice, and you may get a sprinkle this afternoon. Some of that showing up on radar now. Much more headed your way Friday night, though. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02.
So every dollar that is being redirected to somebody who should not be eligible is taking a dollar away from somebody, some Hoosier, who is poor and or disabled, who should be getting services and benefits.
State Senator Chris Garton of Charlestown on the Medicaid bill that passed this afternoon in the state Senate 37-10. Republicans believe it's time for some of the people who were put on Medicaid during COVID to be checked to see whether they belong on the program still. Democrats say it will create red tape for people who may find it tough to navigate. A murder on the southwest side about 1:30. IMPD says a man was killed at a bus stop between Belmont and South Harding at the intersection of Morris and Hyatt. A person of interest is in custody. Police have not released any names yet. Drugs, cash, and guns all seized recently by Indy Metro police officers, and 2 men were arrested. Jake McDaniel reports.
Officers searched in a home and many cars on Westbury North Drive on Indy's west side, and they suspected a narcotics transaction. Court documents say Richard Watkins and Howard Harris were arrested Tuesday afternoon. IMPD officer Tommy Thompson says police are doing what they can to keep everyone safe during cases like these.
Getting these 2 individuals in this instance off our street, these illegally possessed firearms, this large amount of narcotics, it's what keeps our community safe, and our officers will continue to do that.
Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
What's one of Governor Mike Braun's top priorities? Nuisance bars. John Herrick reports.
Braun says he's told state police and the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission's excise police to form a partnership to go after these types of bars to make streets safer and communities stronger. Braun says nuisance bars have grown worse since 2019, becoming hubs for crime, drugs, and violence that make our communities more dangerous and driving down nearby property values. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Traffic and weather in 1 minute.
For planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris. Looking at a crash. It's inbound Fall Creek Parkway on the approach to 38th. I'm told it's right there at one of the main entrances to the fairgrounds on inbound Fall Creek. And right now, this crash reported with injury and entrapment. Traffic is stopped back to 46. I'd stay clear of that. Looking at inbound 65, the delay has changed. We're now stop and go traffic from the White River 220 first, keeping an eye on some sort of incident in that delay. Eastbound 70 loaded up after Tibbs into the south split, 11-minute delay. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic after Kentucky Avenue to I-65. 95 delayed for 33 minutes. Northbound Keystone Parkway, the crash did clear at 126th Street, still jammed up after 96, almost to 106, but the front of the line is clearing out. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Do you think Tara Hastings, meteorologist for Wish TV, has opened her first bottle of rosé yet? Or,
I don't like rosé.
No?
No.
Oh,
No,
wow.
not really.
Yeah, my wife is rosé all day. So
Really?
So
Yeah, not one of my favorites.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to turn away wine, but it's not one of my favorites.
Tara's more of a boxed wine gal, Nige. She
nothing wrong with
That
that
is
either.
correct.
Nothing wrong with that either.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
All right, so Tara, I'm hearing some rumors, I'm hearing some allegations. I would even call it scuttlebutt that our forecast for late Friday into Saturday is not good. Hearing severe storms, possible flooding, torrential rain. Walk me
I
through
know.
what's fact and fiction here.
I know. We've been through a lot, haven't we, already in this April? So we're going to see the chance for some showers and thunderstorms to pop up again late Friday night. And I say this, it's really technically probably going to be more so Saturday. I think we're kind of pushing the timeline a little bit farther back. So more so probably after midnight on Friday. Gusty winds, maybe some hail. I can't rule out maybe a quick spin-up tornado, but the chance of that is incredibly low. But more so some heavy rainfall will be possible heading into Friday, but also into Saturday and into Sunday. This frontal boundary is just going to kind of stall out, and then we're going to see several waves of rain kind of move throughout the weekend.
So I was going to have, we're having family over Saturday for Easter. I was hoping to keep most of them outside. You're saying that's probably not going to happen?
Yeah, and it really all depends upon. It's kind of going to be a little difficult to kind of time out when these waves of rain move through. If you think the first one will definitely move through after midnight, where we can see the stronger thunderstorms, and then make it a bit of a break. Then another round of rain moves through, and we'll get a break, and then some more rain moving through over the weekend too. And it looks like we could get maybe 1 to 3 inches of rainfall total. Some spots, and again, depends upon where this front kind of stalls out and where these pockets kind of move in, but maybe some spots could get 4 inches. So we're talking again, maybe some of these rivers rising a little bit. I think the way it looks like right now, we could get more of the heavier pockets, maybe north and west of Indianapolis. But we're just have to wait and see how that really kind of plays out. But I know this is definitely, we've picked up 6 inches of rain already in Indianapolis for the month of April. And if we get a couple more inches, we could be talking about honing in on the wettest April on record.
Well, you know how the old expression goes, April showers suck.
That is correct.
Is that right?
I believe that's the expression that I learned anyway.
What is your grandfather say, right?
Well,
just wait a minute.
If you don't like the weather, if you don't like the weather in Indiana, go to hell.
Oh my God.
You've got options.
Hey, I've got a question here in the chat here, the YouTube chat. I know the answer to this already, but people are asking this, so I just feel a need to repeat, and I want to know. Matt from the YouTube chat wants to know, is Tara single?
No, I am not.
Okay, I knew that one. But
I am married.
I wanted to hear
2
you
children.
say it.
And we hear the shorties in the back creating a ruckus, and that's part of my favorite thing that we do when we have Tara on, hearing the kids just going nuts in the background. In my mind, they're running with scissors, and there's paint all over the walls, and somebody doesn't have pants on. Like, it's total chaos.
Running with scissors.
Well, yes. Jet is running around right now. Probably he's looking for me. Haley is watching Peppa Pig. Oh, Jet found me. I'm sitting on the stairs. Mom, I'm right here, buddy. Both of them got haircuts, pre-Easter haircuts.
There you go.
Yep.
Do you?
Yeah.
So what's the plan for Easter? Do you have a church that you go to that you would like to tell people about, or do you have family?
Actually, we're going to be heading down to Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to the lake to visit my mother-in-law and most likely have an Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
On the lake.
Little family road trip there. I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
Don't go in there, Jet. No.
No. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Get out of my bedroom. Good Lord. What are you doing? Don't laugh at me.
Tara, you need to join us at Coach's Tavern tomorrow because you need a drink.
Yes, I do.
Well, go down and get some of that red wine. Go get some of that box wine.
I know.
You can just crack that open.
We got all kinds of crazy stuff here. Or we could be going. Too bad it's on a Thursday. Tony Katz has this thing, up in Kokomo or something, right?
Oh, tonight. Yeah.
In 3 bourbons, to which I said, if you're talking about the first 100 days of Trump, why is it not 100 bourbons?
Right.
That is a very valid question, is it not?
It is.
I don't like the fuzzy math that Tony's trying to throw at us there.
Exactly.
I'm with you, Tara. But if you've got a chance, bring the dude, pawn the kids off onto somebody else for a couple of hours, come down to Coach's Tavern with us tomorrow and do some beer sample Friday-ing.
Come on.
Oh, boy. You hide. He's playing hide and seek. Okay, you hide and I'll seek. Okay, he's going in the closet. Whatever works. You hide. Okay. Coach's Corner tomorrow. Yes, you guys are doing your live broadcast there. Is that right?
Yeah, it's right across from Gamebridge Fieldhouse on Pennsylvania. So if you have a few minutes, come on down and hang out with us.
Well, you guys are fun to hang out with.
What's the deal with Marcus Bailey? How long is he out? Because I know he just had his 8th kid.
He's back.
Right.
Oh, is he back?
Yes, he got back on Monday.
Okay, Monday. Good.
And I don't think it's his 8th kid, Nigel.
Well, 9th, whatever. Sorry.
He's competing with Nick Cannon, according to Nigel, apparently. All right, Tara, one more time.
Yes.
Give me that timeline of what's going to happen this Easter weekend. We got Pacer playoff games. We got family gatherings. What's going on?
Okay, so Friday, we haven't mentioned this real quick, but Friday all day, it's going to be windy and warm. Could get wind gusts 35 to 40 miles an hour. High temperatures on Friday, near 80 degrees, guys. It's going to feel fantastic, but it's going to be windy tomorrow. I think the rain holds off until after midnight Friday into early Saturday. Could get some gusty winds and some thunderstorms, some on the stronger side late Friday night into early Saturday morning. Couple of rounds of rain possible on and off throughout the weekend. Could see some minor flooding with 1, maybe up to 3 inches of rainfall for the weekend.
Should we let Tara go be a mom?
Yeah, we should probably let you go. I'm sure that one of these kids has got a gas can and matches, I think, at one point.
Yeah, I'm down. Okay. All right. Well, thanks. Hey, can you say bye? Bye-bye. And there you go.
There we go. That's how you do it. That's perfect. Thank you, Tara Hastings, meteorologist for Wish TV.
The best. And it's the best because I'm older than her a little bit, and I know what she's going through right now.
We've been there.
We've all been there with kids.
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly what you're going through right now, Tara.
All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
Inbound Fall Creek Parkway and crash at the entrance to the fairgrounds. This is right around 39th, on the approach to 38th Street. This has us backed up, stopped, 242nd and Sloan, 246. As a matter of fact, once you come off Keystone Avenue, it's going to start to slow down if it's not already. So crash inbound Fall Creek at the fairgrounds. This is around 39th, and traffic is slammed back to Keystone right now. Inbound 65, looking at a delay of 8 minutes from the White River Bridge to Meridian Pass. 10. Eastbound 70, 11 minutes delay from Tibb Avenue to the South Split, and that delay continues up to the North Split. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic, Kentucky Avenue over to Emerson, a 32-minute delay. Southbound 465 east side, slow after 70 down to 74. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Foundation Services. Water damaging your home? Contact Indiana Foundation Service, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at IndianaFoundationService.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Nigel, you know what term I don't hear a lot anymore? Horseplay. And I feel like Tara's kids in the background were participating in horseplay. Remember when teachers used to say that? Hey! No horseplay.
No horseplay. Yeah.
You don't hear horseplay a lot anymore. In my mind, I always envision some dude walking up with a pony. Aw, sad and having to turn back around. Sorry, no horseplay.
Horsing around?
Horsing around?
Is that more common?
Maybe. I don't hear either one of them enough, especially back when we had shop class. Hey, no horsing around near the buzzsaw. No horseplay over there near the buzzsaw.
I feel like horsing around is more common than horseplay.
Horseplay. I had a teacher, and she would always use horseplay, and I'd always laugh at it because I thought it was dumb. 66 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Are you okay with this? That's the question. That's the game. We're playing it next.
Trouble with the stock market right now, your Social Security income is a lot more important in retirement. And that's why it's critical. You got to make smart decisions, okay? You don't leave any money on the table. All that money is yours. Learn how you could squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery, your retirement guy. He knows Social Security like the back of his hand, and he can explain things in a way you understand. It's complicated stuff, but Bill Demery breaks it down. The how, the when, the ways you can get the most money from your Social Security. Also, he considers your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. So what are you waiting for? Set up a time to chat right now. Set up a free analysis. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120.
Greetings from our agency, your Indiana Health Insurance Pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for making us national sales leaders once again for 2024. Crazy sign-up periods are at last over. If you were told the ACA and it's still Obamacare was your only option, that's just not true. If you were told since you've signed up already, you must keep your ACA program for a year, that's not true either. If you do not have serious health problems, and God forbid make a living wage, the ACA is your worst option, and it can be canceled at any time. We feature coverages guaranteed age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. Self-employed, early retiree, or ACA victim, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. As always, God bless America. Peace through strength and common sense government.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
I gave it a shot, and I came in and had the procedure done. To me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The most important advice I can give to someone regarding their heating and air conditioning system is for them to change their filters.
And get regular maintenance from B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer. This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Dammon's Garden Company South on Emerson Avenue.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
An Indianapolis restaurant has fired a server, Hammer. And now they're apologizing after a viral video. In the video posted to TikTok over the weekend, a black couple visiting the restaurant on Mass Ave claims the waitress asked if they could afford to tip before she took their order. They then recorded themselves asking non-black customers sitting nearby if their server had told them they were required to tip in order to dine in, as they were.
Excuse me, did she tell y'all the same thing she told us? That y'all can't sit there
unless you tip?
Unless you tip. Did she tell y'all that? Y'all can't sit there unless
See, they didn't tell them that.
Did she tell y'all that? Y'all can't sit here unless you tip. Did she say that?
Okay, so the owner said the server claims she mentioned tipping because the couple had dined there before and not tipped. And they said that she was made aware of this video Sunday, called its author, apologized, fired the server. Are you okay with any of this or all of this?
Nope, not okay with this. I'm not okay with the server singling out this group, okay? Because if you're going to ask that question, you have to ask it to everyone, especially in today's climate. Even if you recognize these people, and I don't know if this server did or didn't, but the server claims she recognized this couple. They came in before, and they stiffed the wait staff on the tip. So that's the thing. But number one, tipping is not the law. Should you do it? Yes.
Yes.
Especially if you get good service or even decent service, you should tip. But if you're going to ask that question, you have to ask it to everybody. Like, if you're going to be an a-hole to everybody, so that way nobody can call you a racist, because that's what's happening here. The Titanium restaurant, 735 Mass Ave, they're now getting their review pages, like Yelp, just bombarded by people calling them all racist. Now, the owner, she claims that this waitress had been there for years, had never had any issues, but she claims that the couple was familiar. They did not tip, so that's why they asked. The couple says, I don't know what she's talking about. So the server was fired, and the owner of this restaurant, the Titanium, has apologized to the black couple that filmed the video.
It's crappy not to tip, though.
Totally crappy. Totally sucks.
I don't know what happened here exactly, but if you're not tipping, that sucks.
Yeah.
But you still can't.
Would have been okay if that server had asked everybody in that section, white people, black people, Thai, Indian, whatever, hey, if you're going to sit here, you better have enough money to tip. If I'm not your server or somebody else is, we're all working hard here. So if you can't afford to tip, don't go out to eat. Would that have been okay? I think it would have been okay.
Sure.
I'm fine with that. If you're going to be an a-hole, you got to be an equal opportunity a-hole. That's my TED Talk.
Easter spending expected to top $23 billion this year. According to some sort of national retail federation, $23 billion for Easter. Are you okay with this?
Wow, that's a big number. But, yeah, I'm all right with it because I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money. If you're fortunate enough to have money right now with everything going on, you can spend it on whatever you want. And if that's a buttload of Peeps, God bless you. If it's those Cadbury eggs, God bless you. I don't really care for either one of those things. You know what my favorite Easter candy is? If you're going for like Easter candy, the chocolate hollow bunny. I'm a sucker for a chocolate hollow bunny.
Oh, interesting.
That's my favorite. I don't know why, but the hollow is better than the full on like deep chocolate one. That's what I love. And I also dig the, I mean, it's really just Reese cups, right? But the ones that look like eggs and they're packaged like Easter.
Yeah, Reese cups is fine.
Yeah, those are good too. But if I'm getting chocolate, I like the chocolate hollow bunny.
I'll eat a Peep.
Like the Peeps?
I'm not going to like gorge myself on them.
Never really been my favorite.
1 or 2 Peeps
a
year.
I mean, people love them. They sell a ton of those things every year. But this brings us to great moments in Easter history. Let's go back to when it was then President Joe Biden. He was in the Rose Garden where they were doing the egg roll, the Easter egg roll, and whoever he had dressed up like the Easter bunny came over, scared the hell out of him, and was bossing him around. Donald Trump talked about that in one of his speeches.
We have a president right now, sadly, who has absolutely no idea what the hell is happening. He's shaking hands with the air. He's walking around somewhat bewildered. I'd say it's no good. And taking orders from the Easter Bunny. You saw that one? No.
Taking orders from the Easter Bunny. Great moments in Easter history. So remember a couple weeks back when the price of eggs were still high? It came down a little bit, but they were super high a couple weeks back. You had these people telling you, look, if you want to save money, dye potatoes. Go get some potatoes. They're cheaper than eggs. And have your kids dye potatoes instead of eggs.
That's the ideas because potatoes look like eggs. That's what it is.
You're trying to make sense of something stupid people say, Nigel. I don't know. Right. But what I do know is that Hammer and Nigel Records, we were ready to capitalize on that really, really, really bad idea.
This Easter, we'll be missing some eggs. So the Easter Bunny wants you to paint potatoes and hide the potatoes in your yard. They want us to paint potatoes instead.
The Easter battle's just begun.
So expensive.
The eggs are gone and the potatoes have won.
No more Easter eggs.
You color taters and it starts.
Whether you like it or not.
No more Easter eggs for you to break apart. Sunday, Spotty Sunday.
Spotty Sunday.
Easter Spotty Sunday.
Honestly, I think that's the best song U2's ever put out. I got to be honest. Not a U2 guy. All right, coming up next, we've got Rob Kendall.
Oh, boy.
He's really happy about the property tax situation. He's very pleased with Governor Braun and Lieutenant Governor Beckwith, and in no way is he going to freak out and say some inappropriate things. Or the total opposite. Off the Rails with Rob Kendall coming up right after we take a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
The identity of the shooter and how he got the guns. A band of showers moving from southwest to northeast across the state. Not major rainfall. That may come tomorrow night. More on that in a couple of minutes. It's 67. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. 2 people confirmed dead in the Florida State shooting. Police gave a press conference there last hour and say that the 2 people were not students. The student union at Florida State in Tallahassee is where the shooting happened about 10 minutes before noon. Walt McNeil is the sheriff there and IDs the shooter and his relationship to the sheriff's department. We're going to let this one play for a minute.
The shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner. and he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy. Our Deputy Eichner, has been with the Leon County Sheriff's Office for over 18 years. She has a tremendous job that she's done. Her service to this community has been exceptional. Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene. And we will continue that investigation into how that weapon was used and what other weapons perhaps he may have had access to.
In addition to the 2 people dead, 9 were injured, including the shooter. The sheriff promises they will do their best with prosecuting him and holding him accountable and finding out why. Also happening today, a murder at a bus stop between Belmont and Harding. That was about 1:30. A man was killed, no name released yet. The Medicaid bill that could result in some people being kicked off of the program passed the state Senate today. Republicans say it means people who were added during COVID will likely be checked for eligibility. 93 WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, problem coming out of the north split going northbound 65 like you're heading up towards the northwest side from downtown. It's a crash. It's after 21st Street. And 2 left lanes are blocked, leaving only the far right lane available for travel. This has us stopped from 21st down into the north split, and that delay time alone is 11 minutes. If you're coming in eastbound 70 right now, that's jammed up because of this crash. So eastbound 70 is barely moving after Tibbs Avenue into the south split, delayed 16 minutes. Looking at southbound 65 into the north split, stop and go traffic from the White River Bridge, a 10-minute delay. North side, eastbound 465, stop and go from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69, stop and go traffic from 106th Street to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We'll be near 80 degrees for Friday with 30-plus miles per hour wind gusts, and then showers and storms moving after sunset Friday into early Saturday morning with a threat for severe weather. Wind and hail are the main concerns. I'm Wish TV Star Trek 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here, also joining us live in studio. Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. Here to go off the rails. Rob, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks, as always, to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
So we've had a couple of days to let the dust settle. Governor Braun signing property tax reform into law. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the original bill was quite a bit different than what he signed into law. There were a few tweaks in between what he originally proposed and what he signed a couple of days ago. Do I have that right?
Well, let's get clear what he signed into law. He signed what will be massive tax hikes collectively for most Hoosiers and a massive giveaway to his big business friends. I mean, that's what this bill ultimately became.
But we all, as taxpayers, get a lot of relief, right?
Oh, sure, Hammer. I mean, you get. I mean, look, the guys like we had Ed Delaney, Democrat state rep, on, and I don't think anybody's going to accuse the Democrats of being against higher taxes or wanting smaller government, but he laid it out. He's like, these income taxes for many people are going to swarm up very quickly. Any property tax savings you'll get, and the property taxes keep going up under this bill. It's not like there's an end to the increase. So within 2 years, 2.5, depending on what your home is valued at, the increases are going to be, the property tax decreases are going to be swallowed up, and you'll pay higher income tax, and everybody's screwed. You know, the people got to outgrade the business people. They got this business personal property tax exemption raised to $2 million. I had a buddy who studies this stuff, who knows it very, very well, and it's tens of thousands of dollars for these businesses. Many of them will save, depending on how big they are.
This is what I told Nigel yesterday. Like, you know how competitive I am. The thing that I hate almost as much as getting screwed on my taxes is the fact that the weasel establishment Rhino Squish won. Scott Baldwin won. Rod and Todd won. They're sitting back like Scrooge McDuck. They're lighting their stogies. They're diving into a pool of gold coins. They won, Rob.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much Braun ever wanted to get anything done. I mean, if you look at it, there was at no point, the only time he ever did it was during our rally, but there was no point on his own where he had a Ron DeSantis-like moment where you actually believed he was fired up about this. Braun is a liar. He lied to everybody. Everybody's getting screwed. And I mean, think about how bad a bill has to be that Jesse Brown and myself are like, yep, in agreement on this one.
The socialist member of the city county council and you are doing like the Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers high five.
Yeah, and look, I mean, everybody has the right to be thoroughly disappointed. You have the right to be pissed off because the governor, I mean, it's one thing to play the string out, right? But that rally, man, I mean, he looked all of the people. I mean, we're standing as close as you and I are right now. And all these people, he knew they took their days off work. I mean, it's not like the angry red-shirted teachers where they can get a free day off work if you shut a school down.
And they do it every year. It's like their annual trip downtown.
Our people are working people in many cases. They had to pay to park. They had to do all of these things. And you allowed those people to do that, and you screwed them. What a maniacal,
and on top of
dude.
that, if you heard his interview with Tony Katz, he blamed those same type of people for not doing it more often at school board meetings and local government meetings.
That was amazing.
This is why it's such a joke that they're like, well, you got to get to those meetings and tell those people not to do it. Yeah, people who have lives and kids and jobs, and yeah, they're going to become Rob Kendall, right? Like their whole life is going to become obsession with local government.
And by the way, why is it my responsibility? You were the one that proposed this. You were the one that put that out there. And by the way, going back to 2021, the reset, the original part of the bill, that would have made a whole hell of a lot of difference. Am I a jerk? Am I an insensitive jackass to say a $200 tax credit on my bill that keeps going up is not going to make a hell of a difference, no matter how much money you make or how much your house is worth?
No,
I mean, really, does that?
Ed Delaney sat right here and said this exact same thing I've been saying on this radio station for 9 years now, and finally somebody's saying it out loud. The local government system is broken. How many times have I told you guys this? The system itself is a disease.
Yeah.
The townships, the fire territories, I mean, the cities and towns are out of control too, but I mean, there's so much structurally that's broken on this, and that's how you're going to fix it. And
how did it get broken? Like, how did we get to the point to where the lobbyists and the angry teachers and these butt sniffers in local governments boss around the lieutenant governor and the governor?
Well, they're meaner. And they have, because they have a financial vested interest. Think about our rally. The people who are there, the working people, their only interest is trying to help them save themselves on property taxes. Think about what you saw during the Senate Bill 1 hearings. Who was it? It's the mayors, it's the county commissioners, it's the superintendents. All of those people are getting paid to go. They're financially incentivized to come do this stuff. The teachers shut the school down. Well, my buddy Ben Orr on the Hamilton Southeastern School Board said they didn't have to take a day off because they shut the school down. If the school shut down, they get off of having to take a day off work, so they got paid to go do the thing they did the other day.
They screwed parents over last minute, and then they tried to pull the trick of, we'll just add another day at the end of the year. No, that sucks.
And let's not let the Senate off the hook either, because remember in Senate Bill 1 how concerned guys like Baldwin supposedly were about the cuts to local government, how they were so concerned about the public safety. So then this bill comes back to them, which arguably is going to cost more than the original Braun plan when you factor in now that these businesses are getting all these personal property tax reductions, which is not a part of the original Braun plan, and they suddenly forgot they cared about that because they rammed this thing through, which they're admitting to you, this is all glorified floor show, it's all dinner theater, and they decide what they're going to do before the game is even played.
Instead of blaming people for not going to these meetings, school board meetings, local government meetings, what if in that interview, Governor Braun says, listen, this is your fault because you keep electing the same butt sniffers back into power. You can't just show up to vote once every 4 years. You got to show up to these local elections. You got to get some of these people out of here, and that's how we're going to be able to get you the change that you want.
Here's the thing, though. James Briggs, who I know is a friend of your show, from the Indy Star.
He's been on,
and he's been on my show, too. And I don't agree with him on a lot politically, but I think he's an intelligent guy. He had a piece in the Star about Braun. And it was really about this show, about Kendall and Casey, and he hit the nail on the head, which is Braun has no core set of convictions. Braun, look, he was a Democrat, then he's a Republican. He votes for the largest gas tax in the history, or the largest tax increase in the history of state. Then he runs in the Senate. Oh, look how conservative I am. Braun wants to be in public office. He does this outsider bull crap, but he wants to be in public office. And he recognized he had a major problem, especially after Micah won at convention, which is the base is with us. The base is with WIBC. The base is with Rob Kendall. And now I got to figure out how to deal with this clown. And he lied. I mean, his thing was to lie. But now, and Briggs pointed this out, he's made his own personal hell because now everybody hates him, and rightfully so.
But if the base is with us, the people that feel like we're getting the shaft here, why doesn't the base go out and vote in local elections and get rid of some of these people who just continually screw them?
Well, you love to send this to me. It's the Bruce Willis with the gun saying, "Welcome to the party, pal." I mean, how long have I been saying this? I say, don't vote for these people. I mean, I can't hold a gun to their head and go into the voting booth with 1.5 million people. All I can tell you is it's happening right in front of you again. How many years have I been saying this? Stop voting for these Republicans. They're not your friends. They're not any better than the Democrats. They hate you. They want your money. They see you as a personal ATM. And maybe this is the last straw. Maybe this is the final time people have to be hit between the eyes with a hammer before they'll start to listen and stop doing that.
I love that Briggs used your new nickname for Braun in his art. Was it Back Alley Braun or back?
That's even better. Maybe it's Backroom Braun.
Backroom Braun.
Back Alley Braun, something totally different.
Hey, go back to the tax credit for a minute. The 10% with a $300 cap. People that say every little bit helps. What's your response to that? Because I get. Like, even when Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith was in our studio last Friday, and I said, $200, $300, what's that? That's not going to do anything. And he goes, it might do something for some people. Maybe not for you, you rich Zionsville a-hole. I'm putting words.
You can afford to drop your Jameson bottles, and you're going to be just fine.
He didn't say it. He didn't put it like that. But you know what I'm saying. That is a rationale for some people to $200, $300. Every little bit helps.
Yeah, but that's so disingenuous. And I don't think Micah knew anything about the bill. And I think that's the problem. I think that's why he's been like a slinky going back and forth on this. And I think that's why he didn't say anything for several days. And then he came on your show, and everybody who left that interview thought he supported the bill, and then the next day he changed his mind. I think Micah, to steal a phrase from the 90s, we're all 90s kids, right? Like the Sports Center. Remember, welcome to the big show. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Micah's officially in the big show, and the big show means you got to read, you got to understand, you got to learn, and I think Micah thought this was going to be easier than it was, and I think that's why he talked himself into a real circle on your show and then the next day.
You're probably closer to that guy than anyone that I know. Is there a 4-year plan? Because Micah on our show, the Lieutenant Governor, said they've got a 4-year plan, similar to what Mitch Daniels wanted to do, to which Nigel and I were like, well, this is the first we're hearing of that. We said that multiple times. I haven't heard a peep about that since then.
No, there is no plan. They have no plan. And if anybody from the Braun administration and they're not going to get lippy with me on this. They will not, because they don't have one. And if they want to fight about it, I will be happy to have that conversation with them about the plan or lack thereof. There is nothing. They're going to wash their hands of it once they're done with this. Mike Braun does not have the intelligence or the ballular area to have the local government fight. Think about it.
The ballular area.
I don't know what we can say anymore. That changed a bunch of things.
I like ballular.
Think about Mitch. So here is how look, they're parroting, as these guys always do. They're parroting what I've said, right? They don't know anything. Josh Kelly, the chief of staff, Braun, Micah, they have no idea the history of this battle because they weren't involved in it. Here is what happened with Mitch Daniels. Mitch Daniels slowly prodded his way. He didn't walk in the first day and go, hey, I got a 4-year plan to get us out of property taxes. Mitch Daniels scored little victories in the process. And by the time 2007 hit, see, you're never going to hear this from Micah or Braun or anybody because they don't know it. I'm going to tell you how it happened. And when 2007 hit and those Meridian Kessler assessments showed up, Mitch Daniels said, jackpot. And he went, because they had the Kernan Shepard report, and he went to the legislature and said, okay, you have to wrestle with these natives one of two ways. You can either do it through local government reform or you can do it through property taxes. You pick what poison you want to swallow. And because property tax caps were the less hard, for lack of a better term, choice, they chose the property tax caps over local government reform. That is why we have property tax caps. But neither Braun nor Micah have put the effort into learning how this all went down, which is why we got a crap bill. I love Micah. He's done a horrible job with this issue.
Can we talk about your Masters win?
That's right.
Wow.
Let's do that right after this break. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Mark Dietel and his team, the only real estate agent we trust to sell our home and to find us a new one. How about Tim and Becky in Bargersville? They were ready to downsize. They tried the big national instant offer route and got jerked around because that company canceled the sale a week before closing. So they called Mark Dietel. Mark stepped in and delivered big time. Tim and Becky had multiple offers in 4 days. They sold as is for the price they needed.
Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's right, he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. The Mark Dietel guarantee is what separates him from everybody else. And you deserve that because you deserve to make the most money. 317-755-4232. Call Mark Dietel today, 755-4232, or markdietel.com. Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Look around. Spring is here. And no matter what you're planning or planting, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. So spring forward in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle, including Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. So spring forward, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit Hubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Hubler's got you covered. Cover me.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun, brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Common Threads has teamed up with the Indiana Fever to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc.
Damon's Garden Company South has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon South on Emerson Avenue.
Now that spring is here, storms can happen at any time. WIBC will alert you to severe weather from the Chapman Heating Storm Desk. For all your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and drains, call the man for all seasons. Chapman. Go to chapmanheating.com.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer crash northbound 65 heading out of downtown. It's at 21st Street. 2 left lanes are blocked and we are jammed up into the north split. This is also stopped eastbound 74. 15-minute delay into the south split from Tibbs Avenue. On the south side, crash eastbound 465 at I-65. And right now, We have the center lane blocked with traffic stop and go back to I-69 again on the south side for a delay of 21 minutes. East side southbound 465 stop and go traffic after I-70 down to Brookville Road. Northbound 465 grinding from West 79th Street up to 865. Inbound 69 stop and go traffic from 106th Street down to 82nd. That's a delay time of 8 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Cloudy skies and 66 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Rob Kendall. We're going off the rails. Rob is part of the Kendall and Casey show. Number 1, 9 to noon here at 93 WIBC. Listen, you know how much it pains me to tip my hat to you or give you any sort of credit. I think you're a very mean-spirited, very little, very petty man. Sometimes I question your hygiene and your well-being. But you do know your golf. When it comes down to the nitty-gritty, you know your golf and how to bet on it.
Yeah. At one point, through much of the day Sunday, I had 1, 2, and 3.
As given on the Degenerates Next Door podcast.
That's right. I mean, I'm a very mediocre at best better on everything else, mostly just steal your bets. But golf, I do know. And did I not text you guys when I had 1, 2, and 3 on Sunday with just a couple holes to go? And I said, somehow, only I will figure out how to not win this bet. And gosh darn it, I almost, at the expense of Nigel, who had Rose.
Yeah, Justin Rose,
lost the bet.
Yeah.
But, man, what a great, I mean, it was like 3 days. I had the top guys the whole tournament.
That was an incredible tournament. An incredible Masters. I don't think there's ever been one like it.
Well, it was interesting. I was talking with some people who are golf nuts, even more than me. And they said you probably can't top the 86 Masters. That was Jack's last major, comes from behind. Norman chokes at the end. There's like all these just like huge names up on the leaderboard. That'll probably be the greatest one of all time and never be topped because of what it meant to Jack. But you're right, Nigel. When you talk about the top players in the world, the epic collapse, then to come back and hit those incredible shots, it was. It's one of the 2 or 3 best of all time, no doubt.
Who's a better golfer, Nigel or Rob? I think the audience wants to know.
Oh, it's Rob, definitely. We have never been golfing before, but I can tell you right now it's Rob. I suck.
I used to be pretty decent. I don't play anymore, so I mean, it would take me a while, but I used to be okay.
I've never played once in my life.
Let's go. Me and you go to that par 3 next to my house here.
I love that.
We'll see who's the better golfer.
Absolutely,
okay?
I love that. And we can drink a non-broken bottle of Jameson while we're on the course.
All right, fine.
Special thanks to
Garage Doors of Indianapolis. You guys are the best.
He's off the rails. That's Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel show.
Promises made, promises kept. Governor Mike Braun's bold leadership is already getting things done for Hoosiers. Governor Braun and Statehouse Republicans are delivering massive property tax cuts. We're talking nearly $1.5 billion in relief. That's real money back in homeowners' pockets. But Braun didn't stop there. He cut local income tax capacity by nearly $2 billion and capped the local income tax rate to protect Hoosiers. And Braun led the fight to reform local government taxes, giving Hoosiers more say by requiring referendums be held in high-turnout elections. Thanks to Governor Braun and Statehouse Republicans, your property taxes will be lower, future increases are reined in, and the system is now more transparent. Visit HoosierHope.org and let Governor Braun and Republican legislators know you support historic property tax cuts. Paid for by HoosierHope.org.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
At Advantage Vent, they make the only crawl-space vent that looks like a window and works like a window. Vinyl frame, double-pane glass, clean airflow, sealed protection. This isn't just ventilation, it's a full upgrade for your home for a mere fraction of encapsulation cost.
Reduce moisture, odors, radon gas, and energy bills with Advantage Vent's Indiana-made crawl space solutions, like their Power Vent with built-in fans. Available on Amazon. Use promo code INDY2025 for your extra exclusive discount today. That's AdvantageVent.com.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Want to find out what real retirement planning is all about? Tune in to Expedition Retirement with Greg Ayler, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Since we opened our doors, UC Bank has been committed to the communities we call home. Building financial wellness, UC is proud to offer customized lending strategies and innovative resources to our vibrant communities. UC Bank, building community one family, one street, one city at a time. Member FDIC.
For over 20 years, Howard Bailey Financial has been helping families just like yours gain clarity, confidence, and purpose with personal and practical financial strategies. And now, we're offering our full suite of services on Rangeline Road, right in the heart of Carmel, making it even easier to meet with our experienced team face-to-face. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating life transitions, or just need guidance for your financial future, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Mark Mazurek. Workforce development officials are sounding the alarm regarding a potential loss of funding for the state's